My name's Kenneth Bird. My company is ILEG Technology Screens. Let me try to get my phone cleaned up here the best way I can. That's better. Stand were not great. For some reason, stand keeps shrinking. All the locks on here, but it just seems to be shrinking. I have to get me another stand. I need one. And I have to turn this Mr. Bean off. Sorry, Taco. Can't have this on. I don't get hit with a copyright. Let me see. 4K fish, no sound. Oh, you got something going on there, buddy. Just we can't do Bean because Bean will get us in trouble. There we go. That's some beautiful fish. Heatmonger is blocking the projector because you know he works with the heat. Loves lots and lots of heat. He needs tons of heat. I swear I would think you would part volcano. But anyway, yeah, we have a new gunmetal coming out this week. We are going to be applying this to another one of those screens, and we're going to be setting this up in another place pretty soon. And let me see. We're looking for one of the labels for it, so we can begin the process of altering and changing the label for the new product. Now you guys may be saying, "Well, you know, testing. It's a gunmetal. We did thousands of gunmetals, like literally so much testing. We know this stuff like the back of our hands." So, bottom line, it's like an old version of gunmetal upgraded to an ILEG technology. So it's something we put into it in order to upgrade our stuff. So this makes things so much easier than basically going through the process of retesting something we already designed like years ago that had outstanding results to it. We just upgrade it with something new that we add to it that actually improves it. That's it. So that's all that's needed. And we've already did it before already. So if I go to my Crystal site, which I'll be in there tomorrow, I haven't been in a while, I'll show you the list of gunmetal we have. And we have over 900 gunmetals designed on that site. The cookbook over there is 900. The cookbook over here is 138. That's how many formulas we have in our back pocket if we decide we want to go back and dip into the past. Well, you know, I'll bring back an 8, bring back a 12, or bring back a 7. We have that capability. We already have those formulas already made. We just have to upgrade them to the modern technology we have now today. We just designed to absorb 10 times more light. But the 8s were insane. 8s could absorb just about anything you could throw at them. That's when I did the Star Wars screen off outside. Those were 8s. So now we're designing a gunmetal. And the gunmetal we need is for a store. Their walls are kind of interesting in there. They don't want a black screen in there. They want a really ultra dark gray. That's what they want. So that's what we're putting in. And the only thing we have is ultra dark gray. What they're describing is gunmetal. Now, for some people that may want to question our gunmetal capabilities, mine, like I said, I engineered a gunmetal that was the exact duplicate of the black diamond technology. That's why we got the email that was sent by them. Because like I said, I had no idea big companies were watching us like that. You know, it's like, man, I'm a little YouTube channel. No one's watching me, but they were watching me. And they know I figured out how to make that gunmetal. I think we cracked quite a record for our gunmetal technology of taking out other high performance gunmetal screens. I always get that one person that questions us and goes, well, how do you know that? Archives, please go to the archives. Just type in any form of gunmetal screen, it'll pull it up. We've done all this stuff already, dozens and dozens of times. I clean my lens and it still comes up cloudy. I'm just going to take the time, take the phone off there, take a Q-tip, go over it, clean it down again. Let's see, let's find these Black Widows. I like the Black Widow series, it's a good series. So this one will be going up. The first one will be going to a company which will have it. There we go. We got 2 versions of this thing we made. Actually made an update version of the Black Widow. This is an update version of it. Of the design. Oh crap, when I find labels in here, I shock myself. There is an ILE Black Platinum. We never made it. We just never got around to it. It's right there, staring me in the face. I actually did this. I was going to make one of these. Huh, we've got a different name to it now. But with this one, we're going to design one. Okay, well, better late than never. Let's go and see what you got for the change on you. It's an ILEG. Where's you making one? I wonder if you're actually... Oh, we can get access to this. Oh, heck yes. That gives me an easy one to do a lot of work. That's fantastic for me. Fantastic for me. Yeehaw. Let me see. So I'm going to take this out. Shrink this. What do you call this thing? Titanium gunmetal. Can you just put that down here too? Yeah, sure that's all of it. Titanium gunmetal. Can we back face on this? Oh, we can't. Yeah. Alright, whatever. Titanium gunmetal. Titanium gunmetal. That's interesting. Titanium. I'll write that one down. Oopsie, where's my lotion called at? Ah, forgot. Ran out of pens. You can't find the last one. Let me see. I gotta go do some shopping for my office supplies in the office supplies bag. You start off with a bunch of ink pens, can't find one freaking ink pen anywhere. Can't find any. I lost them all. I got 3 sites I'm working on now. One's pretty easy because they got a wall in there. Oh my goodness, you have no idea how happy I am, but we'll see a wall. Wall smooth, it's clean. No imperfections, nothing on it. It's a clean wall, right now. Yeah, we're gonna paint the screen in there, we're gonna put a frame system in. So go pop on my buddy's shop. He got a lot of equipment over there you can use. Good thing I got good people at the end. I don't gotta rent too much of anything. Go over there and we'll cut the framework to match the environment. So it's gonna be pretty cool. So we put that one in, paint that one in, and of course we add the projector in because again, they're cheap. You don't need to spend money for expensive projectors. So we set the projector up, mount it in. I got a couple of jobs coming up this summer. A few places we're gonna do installments for screens and ad tech. And I'm bringing a buddy in for this one. So this one has a drop ceiling. I don't know anything about installing a projector and a drop ceiling. He's gonna come and do that job for it. He's an installer. He does that type of stuff. So we're bringing him on board. He does more complicated jobs. So that's gonna be nice. Let me see. We need titanium. The numbers on this site have been spiking, so that new tag system we put in there is working. It's Doing a great job. Metal. There. Hmm. Should I cap all this? Let's cap it. Let's see what that went away. Now, I know some people feel sometimes, I don't know if people feel that, well, I can't say. But I can say that because we haven't talked anything about the cases and stuff like that. I told you, Lord told me to bring it up. It's going to happen. I don't think because we don't bring it up, we already filed. We already filed. Our paperwork went in. So that means all we got to do is just wait for them to get to where they need to do when they're in, and then we'll be in court. That's all. We already filed. But to bring it up over and over and over again and talk about taking people's houses and stuff, that's going to happen. It's just no way we can pay those things. It's impossible. It's $1 million lawsuit. It's a lot of money to be paid back. It's a very simple process with court. You just have to prove that our product did exactly as you claimed in your YouTube video. That's what you're being sued for. That's it. Very easy process. If you can't back it up, you're going to lose the case. That's all. It's simple. See, that's why I'd rather do court instead, because the back and forth with YouTube is just nonsense. It's a waste of my time, you know. Viewers don't want to see that crap today. I wouldn't want to watch somebody disputing back and forth with another YouTuber. It's a headache at the end of the day. So it's just better that, you know, we get somebody to track and figure out where you live at. We do it by the courts. We get an investigator, figure out where you live at, where you make your money, and then we basically take it to court and sue you. That's it. It's professional. That's how you do it. But I wasn't being professional about it because I was bringing it online and stuff like that. I do apologize to my audience for that one. I do, you know. But you know, someone trying to take my company from me, you know, I got upset over that because I think it was wrong what they did to me. But it's still to drag everybody into that was unnecessary. So we just do it the professional way. So all this stuff we gathered up, everything that happened, criminal charges were filed, and we went in and contact agencies and got lawyers and everything involved. So now we'll be in court. So we just do it in court. That's what we're going to do from now on. We won't bring any of this stuff to the surface. Nothing you're going to know about it. We're just going to have people out there scouting, looking for people that are doing things they shouldn't be doing. And then they don't have to bring it to me. Basically, their job is just to figure out if there's enough evidence to prosecute. If a lawyer looks over everything and says, hey, there's enough evidence, then they'll bring in cyber investigators. If people are designed to dig the internet on you and figure out exactly where you live at. So once they obtain all that information, then the next stage is send you a letter, which is not going to be a letter to stop. It's going to be a letter to tell you've been sued. And your job is just get a lawyer. That's all. Get a lawyer. We can go to court. And you can basically defend yourself and say, hey, his stuff works that way. That's what you have to do. But you already know what's going to happen. So there's no use bringing it up, right? Right, okay. Let me see where we go from here. Oh, that's supposed to be separate. That's definitely supposed to be separate right there. You know, that sending people paint and all that stuff, that's not necessary. We just take it to court, that's all. We challenge your company. We challenge your YouTube channel. It's the same thing, to honestly tell you the truth. You can challenge someone's YouTube channel. So just take it to court and just challenge your channel. That's all. Now, let me see. Make sure this is projector screen paint. Every time we put up a gunmetal, and we do have screens now, people think like, oh, is that a gunmetal screen you guys are developing? Like, no, it's an actual screen paint. Ah, get in there. Let me make a little bit more right there. Right, the label just the way it is. So I made this label a long time ago. I was supposed to be making this. I kind of forgot. I caught up in some stuff. Put down projector showing paint. There we go. That right over in the corner. So it's nice. Just down a little bit more. All right. I like it. Oh, I like it. Definitely like that. Yeah, there you go. Done. Wow, it's fast because I already made it. Just forgot that I made it. Oh, we got new containers coming in. We got new way we wrapping all that stuff. We got everything coming in new. Everything's coming in brand new. So we can do things differently. So the containers have to look different. Because, majority out here, we're going to be selling more physical screens out here. We'll definitely get more physical screens. Physical screens are hard to ship unless they're tile systems, wallpaper systems, stuff like that, fabric. That stuff that's easy to ship overseas. But the other stuff, man, physical fixed screens, if things are too expensive to ship overseas. You can ship a motorized projection screen. That thing would kill me. The price would kill me. Let me see. Put this in a file. I'll put it in future. Future file. Oh, FRE. No, not anymore, buddy boy. Not anymore. You've been redubbed. 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 Get back in there. Redubbed. LEG. Black Widow. TG. Titanium gunmetal. Ah, crap. I forgot to get the retro buy. Dang, I literally keep forgetting this thing. You got one over there for me, so you gotta go pick it up. I don't know I'm getting. Let me see. I'll pop down tomorrow. I gotta be on site tomorrow, too. Alright, gotta be on there for that. I got a darkened environment. I don't know what someone was thinking when they put the lights in there. Because there's a baseball stadium in there. Our screen fires up in there with no problem, but his environment has to be, he wants like that, like romantic kind of setting his environment. That's what he wants, that romantic look to it. Apparently you can't get that because the lighting system they put in, like you're in a baseball stadium. So we're going to use these, the caps. The caps have been working fine. Now where the projector's at, I want lighting over there. I need lighting over there where the projector's at. So we got the forest scenery over there. But in the other area, we're going to be putting these in, these solar, the star system in there. If he really wants to put that kind of lighting in there to begin with, I mean, he could really hook it up in there at the end of the day. I mean, we can put white dim lighting in all the corners and everything. We can put in a twinkle starlight system, or we can definitely put in a galaxy cylinder there easily. I can easily drop a galaxy cylinder in there. But we can put in those pretty starlight flickering lights they have, those lights, you know what I'm talking about, like the fairy lights they have. But in corners and stuff like that in there, or all along the baseboard, that's a beautiful ceiling. The ceiling's gorgeous. Baseboard's fully exposed. It's gorgeous. And then if we darken that, he wants to put these little candles out there. We can really hook that place up in there. But, you know, that's just going to cost more money. Because, again, at the end of the day, I can do that kind of stuff. That's what I did once in the house. I actually changed entire bedrooms into environments. So I learned how to do a lot of crazy stuff. So you can change that entire environment out. And I know a lot of people that work in Sony. Thanks to you guys at the end of the day. Yeah, you trolls did me a big favor on that one. When they contacted Sony, for those who don't know, they're trying to get me kicked out of this garage, right? But I ended up meeting some really nice people over there. And, I'm a paperwork junkie guy at the end of the day. I started reading tons of documents on zoning and this, that, and the other, and what you can do, what you can't do. And literally, like, I know a lot of people up on that floor now because of them, because I didn't even know where zoning was at until they pointed. I met the guy when he came down. He was real nice. I got an A for the garage, for the installment job I did in there. Never did installment in the garage forever for the insulation, and I got an A on it. Man, see? That's why I said at the end of the day, there's no victory for you. You don't have any victory. You follow Satan. You have no victory at all. Anything you do, if you try the worst thing you could ever do to a Christian, it'll always come up on top. We'll always land on top, no matter what. You can kick off the side of a building, we'll land. Always on our feet, every single time. Even if we hit the ground, Lord will be right there. Pick us up, dust us off, put us right back on the horse. All right, see you later. Bye-bye. And then he'll turn around and look at you. Did you just kick my anointed off a roof? Yeah, there you go. See, I told you, he protects his people. He does. So when he did that, we didn't get kicked out. Nothing happened at all. When people came over, as a matter of fact, he did us a favor when you did that, because the guy never had the building register as like an apartment, because it was a house, and he didn't know how to go about doing it. So when the guy came down, he was very nice and polite. God shows favoritism toward his people. What you were planning to do was not going to happen. Now, you got to think of the big picture here. God is our protector, and you use Satan to try to attack us. What do you think God's going to do in this situation? He's going to protect us. That's what he's going to do. And that's what he did. So when the guy came in, he was real nice. He came in the first time, and he came in the first time, and he just looked over the place and everything. He was good with it. And then he put a tag on the door, because it wasn't a tag on the door being put on the door because the place was being shut down. No, it has to go through inspection, that's all. So the owner was kind of nervous. Don't worry about it. You're good. The place is up to code. The place is very well up to code. Whoever did the work on that place did an amazing job on it. Even the garage was done pretty good. Usually with most garages, I see the wooden foundation sitting on the ground, which is good, which is bad. At least a lot of dry rot and decay. But they had a cinder block system put in, and they had the garage bolted down to the cinder block system. That's a very good job. Someone did a really good job on that garage when they built it. On the side, on the wall where my desk was at, that was all concrete. Very good job, extremely good job. Whoever did that garage knew what they were doing. So when he came in, he got an A when he first went in, so that went well. And then even when he missed the appointment, the guy was nice enough to come back down. Very polite. He drove right back down there, real nice about the whole thing. Looked over the whole place. Okay, the place is good. Just have to get it registered that day. You get it registered. Another thing, I said, look, we're gonna go down there right now. Because most people put that off, like, no, we ain't putting it off. I'm going to go down and get that paperwork done now. I know how to do the paperwork. So he was blessed. Everything, a blessing for blessing. So he allowed me to come into that place and get away from the headache and stuff I was going through. The Lord worked it all out. The Lord had it all planned from the door. And I was able to be there, a person who knew about paperwork and documents and all that stuff. Was able to go and walk into City Hall and show him the proper way to fill out a document to register his building as an apartment unit. He's got it zoned. So I know my stuff at the end of the day. I know my stuff. So with that being said, going back and getting confirmed from zoning, yeah, I get approval. I get my approvals easy. I know how to file my paperwork, my documents, all that stuff. But you guys helped me out with that. You thought you were trying to do something, it backfired big time. And I met one of the head directors. One of the guys came and runs he's a head director. I met him. And that's how I got to know everybody down there. So I used to come in there all the time and get paperwork for this and paperwork for that and all kinds of stuff and learn about this and zoning and inspections. I was teaching myself all that stuff. And I got to know a lot of people at City Hall. And the people at City Hall, I got a chance to meet the mayor. And then after that, I got to meet people and city planning. And then after that, I met a lot of people at the police station, people at the FBI. I met a lot of people down there. Yep, I know a few judges too. Yep. So yeah, I met a lot of people. So you guys helped me out with the zoning thing, because yeah, I didn't know where zoning was at, but now I know. City Hall, when that place, I was like, oh, so it begins. Yeah, I learned everything in that building. Yep. Now, Lord bless me. He opened up so many doors. When I went to apply for my business license, he went in and said, I'm going to get my business license less than an hour. Way less than an hour. Everybody's checked on it. Everybody approved on it. When they come in, they know who I am. They say, oh, you're the tech guy. That's all I am. I'm the tech guy. See? There you go. So they know who I am. They know about. So it doesn't go well for you. We take you to court down here. They know what kind of work I do down here. They see my work. And if you're making statements on YouTube and slandering me and making all these nasty comments about my family, it's not going to go well down here. I told you. Nope. God shows favoritism toward his people. He does. So I learned a lot in that whole process. He got his place all done. I got a A+ on the installation. Awesome. Anything comes from God, you're going to get that A+. You know, God does not do it halfway. And then on top of that, when the time came, the Lord said, okay, it's ready for you to get an office. Here I am, got myself an office. And then you guys tried again. You try to come in here, you try to make trouble for me. You got to pay for all that. Mind you, everything you did online, everything thought, even the near thought you had, it's under judgment now. You attacked a Christian. It doesn't go unpunished. Saul was knocked off his horse. He was thrown off his horse. God spoke to him. He doesn't play around when he touches people. You don't like it. You know, if you have a daughter or son on the swing, some kid comes over and pushes up the swing, what's your reaction going to be on that? You're going to be upset. You're going to get up and walk up to the parents. And you got to do something about your kid at the end of the day. This is there you go. That's what happens when you touch God's people. So, you know, he made everything you tried didn't work. When it was ready for him, his time, not your time. Not your time to go out and make complaints and try to remove me from here and there. Not your time. When it's his time, then we go. In the carrying place, we did the whole building. I had literally been through the whole building. I've got recordings in the back. I got recordings in the front. I've been in every single room in the building except for the 5th floor, which we were allowed to be in. Or the 5th floor was a little bit haunted, so I wasn't going up there. It used to be a hospital a long time ago. So no, it's not traveling up there. And we got done so much stuff that now the only thing left we had was a window. At this particular point, we completed everything in the building. I'm thinking, like, what else do we have to do in here? Because we had nothing left to do. Only thing I had to do was just coming down there because I didn't want to be in the apartment. That's pretty much it because there's always the apartment. Other than that, we finished everything. We were done. I got videos from the front. I had tons of videos in that place. And then on top of that, I got a chance to test the AdTech on glass, on actual storefront glass, which we didn't have a storefront at the time to do it. And the Lord blessed us to have it. So I got a chance to go down there and test it at early in the morning, all the way until 6 to see exactly how it would react. The most important times to see if that stuff was going to react was the afternoon when the sun struck it. And we got all the information we needed. So we got everything we wanted in the building. Besides, what you don't know at the end of the day, things were going south anyway in that environment. There were problems within the building that they were having. She had several deaths in her family. She was not doing too well, which I can understand what she was going through. Mind you, she's a Christian woman. And you people who contacted and harassed her, you already know what's going to happen after that one, right? It's written in that book of judgment. And again, as I said before, you tacked an anointed. But everything she was going through, she appointed some guy. I don't know why she appointed him. He was power hungry. He wanted to control the situation. Literally, he was trying to take the place from her. And then he had somebody else that was working with him. And I'm watching this whole thing go down. Like, I'm watching this guy manipulate people, fire staff members, which he was not supposed to do. He didn't have authorization to do so. And because she wasn't there, because she was dealing with some pain in her family, he was doing too much. Until me and him bumped heads, because it was going to happen sooner or later. He was trying to tell me to do something. I said, no, buddy, I'm just here to do some work. That's basically about it. I'm not on payroll. You can't touch me. Now, me and him were bumping heads from time to time, because he was trying to push his weight around. So it was going to happen. I was going to be leaving sooner or later anyway. But the thing about it is, what you guys did and you don't realize is how God used you. Because I didn't want to leave from there because, again, I didn't want to go back to the apartment. It's noisy over there. And I like being there because it has other people to talk to, stuff like that. But did I need to be there? No. We got everything completed. We were going to spray that AdTech to that glass window. Now, if we had sprayed the AdTech to the window, everything happens in due time. If we had sprayed that AdTech, it'd have been stuck on that window. Which means the technology you see here, all this stuff that we developed on AdTech, would have been a part of the window. Which, again, would have made problems for my company. Yeah, a lot of problems. So I already went down and bought the Wagner paint sprayer. And when you guys were contacting her over and over and over again, and she said we had to leave, 2 days later, that stuff would have been sprayed to the glass. You did us a favor. So when they told me I had to leave, I said, okay, fine, no problem. Packed up my projectors and left. We never sprayed it to the glass, which is good. And then later on, when I thought about it, I was like, whew, we had sprayed it to the glass. Yeah, that technology over there, the stuff you're seeing in Windows right now in stores, that wouldn't have existed. See? Everything happens for a reason. And you're sitting there mad. Yeah, everything has. There's nothing you do. You don't control anything at all. You have no control. If you follow Satan, you have no control whatsoever. So you did us a favor. Now, all that stuff that you tried, right? Where's that tech right now? It's being applied to buildings, right? All over Allentown, right? You don't stop anything. My new technology, my new screen paints, did you stop any of that? No. Still thriving, still going. Being applied in different places and stuff, still doing business. You haven't stopped anything. Has our technology increased? Yeah, by a lot. So everything, you haven't stopped anything. That should tell you right there from the door, the only thing you did was harm yourself in the process. That's it. You accumulated criminal charges, you accumulated lawsuits against yourself, you made things much worse for yourself. That's all you did, and that's what Satan does. That's his job. To get to, it's a giant eel now, then you see that first in the fish tank. Anyway, but that's his job at the end of the day. Let me see. Did I put this in future? I did put this in future. Okay, good. Then we have it here. Let me see. I'm going to do one of those surfaces over there. And then I'm going to do the screen this week. Get a chance to play in the office with it a little bit. So the office shirt though on it. Alright, that's done. I'm going to put it in the shopping cart ahead of time. I forgot we're building something over here. Yeah, all that for nothing. It's just all for nothing because you don't get any victory at all, period. Satan's not designed to get victory at all. And his job is to trick as many people as he possibly can. Hopefully, he could take them. Hopefully, their time runs out while they're here. And then put you in a bad situation you can't get out of. He is not here to be your friend in any way whatsoever. Let me see. Oh, no. We did this already. We had to change background. We're good. We change background. We're good on this. Give me first one for the background black. Let me take that. It's first layer. What is, what's the setting for this, for the background? I'm seeing that there. But I want to know what's the settings for the background. What's the layer system on here? It's the background. That's the setting. There should be more than that on there than that. Let me see from there. I mean, you gotta go from there. Something that's... Alright, then we'll take it from there. Alright, give me, all right. People get scared. Now. Yeah, I would be terrified of God's judgment. But the beautiful thing about it is, God's judgment's a good thing. In some ways, it's good. In some ways, it's not good. I don't know anything. In that part, what God does, I don't even know that field. I know at the end of the day, you just don't touch His people. I already went through that before in my lifetime. I've been through that one already before. It's not a good experience to go through. It really isn't. And it really is not a good experience to go through. There's so many different ways judgment can come at you. But it's a learning process. You will never forget it. You'll be 95 years old. You will never forget that process. Not ever. It's burned into your brain forever. You'll never forget it. Now, what happens if a Christian and a Christian get go into it? I don't go into it with Christians. I don't. I don't argue with them. Ain't no point. I ain't gonna give Satan that satisfaction because that's what Satan wants to do. And see, to our Christians fight. He loves that kind of stuff. I don't give him the entertainment at all. Period. And a Christian can't lay his hands on me because again, he already knows what he's going to be dealing with. He knows not to cross that road. So, when a Christian and another Christian have an argument, and they can't settle it, they go before God. God will fix it. Trust me, He definitely will fix it. We have to go before God. We can't sue another. We can't sue another Christian. You can't do it. We can't sue our own brethren. We can't do that. Now, non-believers, we can sue you. Yep, we can sue you. And this is how backwards people get, how twisted they get with the devil. Some people think at the end of the day, well, if I become saved, I can't get sued. That was your purpose to get saved, and you're not saved at all. You get saved because you want to be closer to Christ. That's why. And you understand what God has done for you at the end of the day, what Jesus did when He hung Himself on the cross for you. That's why you get saved at the end of the day. Because you want to repay, get back that debt at the end of the day. We are in debt by God. We're in debt. We're all in debt. Even when you're a Christian, you can't pay back that debt. It's virtually impossible. But at least it shows that you did put a down payment down. You are trying. Yep, you got to pay that debt back. Let me see. I'll do this one later on. I'm going to change that background too, though. Mitch. Maps. How many people know how to read that from an actual gas station map? You should know how to do that. Read from a gas station map. Now I find an app. Read it from an actual gas station map. But if you get in a situation, you ain't got no signal. And you gotta use a map. So now you use a map, compass, all that stuff. You know that in Boy Scouts and Blue Clubs, they use compasses. And Dad taught us how to use a map. So. We even need that there. No, actually you don't need that there. That's not even necessary. It's good right the way it is. Put that in there. That's done. That section. Back over here. Oh, let me see. No, we already finished all that. You gotta be a marketplace next, Jack. I'll massage it back on. That's better. Ah, my lens is clean. It's my freaking whatchamacallit. My freaking screen in the front's dirty. Oh, yeah, I can see it. Yeah. Why is the lens so freaking? I got my other phone. I just logged in with the phone. Like, oh yeah, it's clean. And whatchamacallit is dirty. My phone. I can never get people to buy brand new phone at the brand new phone at the brand new phone just to have the latest phone. I mean, I don't even use half the stuff on my phone. I don't. All that stuff the phone has on it, I never use any of that. I just started using the pen. I had the pen in my phone for roughly a good maybe 10 years and never even touched it. I don't use all that stuff on there. And the camera system, all that stuff you can, I don't use any of that stuff. I mean, the wraparound, Pamrod, I don't use none of it. No, period. Or some people are like that, they're phone techs at the end of the day. They're like that. Me? No, phone will last me 10 years, 10, 15 years. That's a phone for me. I had this phone. This is the Galaxy S10 Plus. You know how old this phone is? I'm curious how old my phone is. How old is the Galaxy S10 Plus? Let me see roughly. What did they put down? That's how old. How old is the Galaxy S10 Plus? Nearly 7 years old. Oh, no, you didn't put the whole thing in there. See, AI, you do too much, man. How old is the Galaxy S10 Plus? 7 years old. This is nearly 7 years old. So I haven't changed my phone out in 7 years. Do I need to change my phone out? No. Works perfectly fine. It does all the things you need to do. I don't see what else I would need to buy a new phone for. It's got a big screen on it. Works perfectly fine. Only programs I run on here is basically the camera, YouTube, Facebook, my PayPal account. That's basically about it. Email. And I can connect with my Wix account. I got the app on here. I use a mirror app. I got no games on there because I don't play games on my phone. So no point. Ashamed over here. I never was into the handheld stuff. That's it. And just browse the internet for information and stuff I need at the end of the day. That's all. I don't need it for nothing. That's all I use it for. And we go like, with this phone does so and so. Does it make a phone call? All right, it makes a phone call. That's all I need it for. That's it. Got 2 cell phones. I have to have 2 cell phones because one phone right here I do business on, and the other phone I talk on. Kind of helps to have 2. I'm used to having 2 phones, so I don't need all that. That phone right there, one thing that phone has is an OLED screen on it, which I don't even use it for watching movies or nothing on that phone. I don't do anything with that phone. The phone's only just for work, just phone calls, and that's it. So I use it for. That's all. So I need all that stuff to begin with. And go in there and they see my phone like, wow, you got the Galaxy S10? I was like, yep. So you don't plan to change up? They got the new one out. And what does it do? Does it make a phone call? It does. Well, mine makes a phone call. What do you need a phone for? It's got a new widescreen. I don't care about that stuff at the end of the day. Don't need all that stuff. It works perfectly fine the way it is. I am not changing out my phone. Till it takes updates, don't care. I don't even use half the updates that are going anyway. So I don't get the whole thing about changing out the phones and all this stuff like that. Some people with the new phones, when people see you got the new phone, that means you live for somebody else. You would spend money for somebody else to see your new flashy phone. I'm good. Let me see. Change it. Put the new gunmetal in there. I do love people who judge books by their covers. They're interesting. They always get nice lessons are always taught to them in an interesting way. That's why I dress the way I dress. That's what's low-key. I used to wear fancy, expensive suits and all that stuff. I'm 57 years old. I've been there and done it already. Expensive suits, sneakers, y'all Air Jordans. Y'all had them when they first came out. When they had Air Jordans that first came out. Not the stuff that y'all have. Y'all just now getting there. We've been had them when they first came out. The Air Jordans, 23s. I had the sweatsuits. I had the freaking jerseys. I had all that stuff. I was born in the 80s. And they had all that stuff, man. Georgetown, Night, patent leather, Adidas, snakeskin, Adidas. What else we had in the day? Gucci's. But at the time we had to get Gucci's when you was dressing prep. That's the prep style. But I was rocking prep, the snap hats, freaking the Miami Vice style with the freaking the G-Shock watches. I've been there, done all that stuff already. Everything from jewelry. Then the whatchamacallit came out. Public Enemy. They had the Taiwan sweatsuit, the Cot sweatsuits, Adidas sweatsuits. They had this one sweatshirt, the big, huge African flag on the back of it. Everybody's rocking the beads. At one point, they was rocking the T-shirts. They had the Jamaicans on them. They had the dreads, and the dreads actually with real beads that came down. They were awesome. The African-American beads with the leather motherland African on it. All that stuff. Kangos, Gazelles, Georgetown Knights, if I ain't mentioned that already. All that stuff already. Air Force, Nikes, all that stuff, man. I remember when whatchamacallit came out, Reeboks. Reeboks came out. They had them in gray, they had them in blue, they had them in green. LA Knights, they had those out there. LA Gear. All that stuff, man. Acid wash jeans. Then you had the whole freaking Duran when people had their hairs all moosed up in crazy style with the belts. Then Prince came out and everybody was rocking Prince gear. A lot of people was walking around with the fluffy shirts and what do you call it? Like the I don't know which one I explained it, like Zero the Bull outfits, just like that. A lot of you not, just like that. We remember the era. I remember the boom boxes, all that stuff, the dollar party, project parties, all that stuff. I did all that stuff already. Did that generation already. Did all that stuff. Even when I was a kid in the 70s, I was rocking them striped socks, them shorts that came all the way past your thighs. Had the All-Star shirt on. With a little light with the 3 stars over top of it, number 12, canary yellow with the red stars. I like weird stuff back in the day, man. Corduroy pants, all that stuff. Rocked an afro. You got to the grunge era with Nirvana, was in that style too on top of that. And all that stuff. When I got into heavy metal, like Static X, when I got into Prodigy and all that, I had a mohawk at one point, blue mohawk. Side shave, piercings, all that stuff. I've been there and done all that stuff already. Nothing new. I remember one time the Fat Boys were rocking those freaking raccoon hats. Had that too. Was rocking those hats. The huge Flavor Flav clocks. Had so many of those it wasn't even funny. Yeah, all that stuff. Run DMC era, had the Adidas sweatshirt. Huge Run DMC, New York City in the back of it. Run on one side, DMC on the other side. Had the hat, little peacock feather sticking out of it with the glasses, leather jacket. Tight Levi's, I had so many different colors in Levi jeans, except for white, leather jacket white up. I had the fur coats. I remember one time they was rocking the style with the Levi's. They was wearing the hikers. They had the I forgot the name of these hikers. They had the red laces in them. Everybody had the custom designed belt buckles with your name written into it. Those right there, and he was rocking them with the big fur coats, with the Eskimo coats. And you get a painter hat, you slap it to the side, and throw your Okies on, your snow goggles. Did all that stuff. Been on bikes, motorcycles, cars, all that stuff. I did all that stuff already. And you get older, as you get older, you go, yeah. I did the whole Miami Vice style, all that stuff. Had the Jerry Curl, Fade, Jeff, you name it, all that stuff. Named cards in the back of my head, Adidas symbols, Nike symbols, stripes, and all that stuff. Got the little slits in the eyebrows, all that stuff. Been there, done it. The GQ look, the Giorgio Bettini boots, all that stuff, everything. Miami Vice was the most interesting style I've seen in my entire life. Never in my day I seen people walking. I had pastel suits. Pastel suits, had them rolled up to the cuff, no socks on, pair of loafers. Had the sleeves rolled up with a t-shirt on and a Jerry curl. And I had Ray-Ban glasses on with a G-Shock watch. And you had the Sony Walkman. The Walkman was huge. Had little orange phones on it. There were orange little speaker covers on them. Yeah, you was the shot. You was walking around like that. Got the Sony. Sony was like $200, $150, $200 for those units when they came out. My brother had it. The first time I saw a Walkman, my brother had one. He had everything. That's when I was living on a period. He had everything. He had Betamax. He had freaking Atari. He had everything. He came up here, all kinds of stuff. He was a tech junkie. And he had a Sony Walkman. I was like, oh, what's this? He said, man, it's a whole entire stereo system on your side. The thing was huge. It was big, taller than my mug over here. It was big and bulky, man. Sony's were the most expensive ones to get. You had Sony, you had expensive money. Then they came out with the Sony yellow ones that were waterproof, with little earbuds that fit inside. I think I lost my hearing on one side. Somewhat. Then you had the freaking electronics, the stereo rack systems. You had the Pioneer rack system, the multi-stack system with the huge paper cone speakers, all done in black JVC. Oh, that was the era to be in. You had speaker rack system. You had a bunch of cables running in the back of it, like a octopus went mad back there. You had the 18 gauge speaker cable wire and all that stuff. Yeah, that was a great era to be in. Now today, how you hook up a system today? It's still a sound bar. Doop, doop, doop. Now they got the more complicated ones here, but not when you're running all that cable and wire through there. Not that there. I mean, you had to daisy chain your stuff. You didn't daisy chain your stuff, and everything didn't feed to the amp. The things just didn't sound right. I think back then the systems. Well, no. I take it back because I remember I had a 7.1 digital surround sound, and somebody had the optic system, and the optic system was crazy because they were watching some war movie, and when the guy stepped on the grass, you can hear the crunching in the grass. I was like, wow. First time I heard digital. I had a CD when it first came out. I had a digital disc player. The real big ones were like a giant LP disc player, like a giant record player. I had one of them by Pioneer. I had all that stuff, man. I had a tech junkie. My mom's a tech junkie. That's how I ended up getting introduced to all that stuff. Gaming systems, yeah. I go way back. Way back. Way back. Alright guys, I'm Nintendo era. Yeah, we'll go back a little farther than you, buddy. I played Pong on a console system from Tanny Corporation before Radio Shack was called Radio Shack. It was called Tanny Corporation before it was changed over to Radio Shack. When you didn't have all your, way before you had analog. Way before you had analog audio. When you had coaxial. That's my era. It's coaxial hookup. Plug it in the back, screw it in the back. Once I was actually before the screw in the back. Mine is when you had the two prongs. When you had the two little screws in the back. It was UHF and I forgot what the other one was, VHF, what it was. But you had the two little screws you pull out and you put the little prongs up in there. That was the adapter piece for coaxial. Because those two little hooks they had in the back, that went to your antenna on top of your roof. When you hooked up your game system to it, add a converter box so you can hook it up to a coaxial cable. That is way back. That's when you put the little prongs up and you tighten them up and you screw your little coaxial cable and that's connected to your gaming system. Imagine the gaming system with coaxial. And you put on channel 3 or 4 because it had a switch box on and go shh and it pop on. You're like, oh, I got a video game in my home. I'm actually gaming in my home with a video game system. Yeah. Which is funny because the era in games has changed, has altered. Because in my era, it was being as close to the arcade as you possibly can. And y'all era has nothing to do with the arcade. It's PC. You ever think about that one on the wild side? No, people really don't think about that much. Yeah, you had to be born in my era to see the shift and change. So the new gens don't see it. The new gens, because you're not used to walking into an arcade and gaming. Maybe the stuff you have now, but not real arcade. That's not. It's like a duplicate version of an arcade. That's not actual arcade. I explained it to one of my watchers. Like, no, we got Dave and Buster. No, you don't get it. That's duplicate. When you live in that era, the arcade can never be reduplicated. You have to live in that time zone to understand the arcade. It's the clothes, the fashion, everything. It's all about the arcade. The food, the movies, all made the 80s the 80s. You can't duplicate the 80s by making an arcade. It's not the same. Half those games didn't even exist in the 80s anyway. So it's not the real thing. And you weren't shoving togas in there, you were shoving quarters in there. So it's not the same. But anyway, yeah. All games back then were crafted after arcade. You know, you had Genesis, arcade-like game. You had freaking NEC, was more like an arcade kind of style game. You had all those games that were crafted after arcade. You know, the arcades phased out. Then you had everything duplicate after PC. That's why they make console systems more and more like PCs. That's the era you're in right now, which is crazy when you think about it, because the PC was around when the arcades were around. PC's been around for a very long time. PC was out way before the arcades came around. Way before that. But they weren't for using for game, they were used for work. That's when you had them giant, huge data processors by the side of the refrigerator with these huge reels on them. They were used for that. So PC has been around for a very long time. So that's why I find it interesting when you have people that do console, certain ones, so people don't accept it, that they think that console was first. No. PC was first, way before you were ever here. Then later on, people just started using PC more for just, work at the end of the day, like the Commodore 6400 and all of them. You know, the Atari 5600, when they came out, they had basically, now you can game and do your homework at the same time. It doesn't have to be a boring computer anymore. You could do more on it. I remember when JavaScript came to the Dreamcast. You can actually watch videos off of it. That was very interesting. That's when you got the browser discs that came in the magazine to upgrade your system. Every time you get a browser, I had a whole collection of Dreamcast games, Dreamcast magazines that came with the browser. The browser had update software on there to update your Dreamcast, so you can get JavaScript to run off of it. If you use it online, use mine online. But yeah, that's a whole lot of stuff that went on, man. But I remember that. And then for some of the newer Sony fans, who go, well, PlayStation this and PlayStation that. I bet you know something about PlayStation you don't know about. I don't. Do you know when the first PlayStation came out? Some people weren't born when the PlayStation. They were kids when the PlayStation first came out. You get the first one, which was PlayStation, which came with Toshinden and Jumpin' Jack Flash. You could even play that thing online. There was a modem in the back of it that played online. It was a PlayStation 2 that had the ability to play online. But it wasn't, when you first got it, it didn't have the cable. You had to buy a special adapter to plug on the back of it so you can actually go online and play. Now, how long have you been around? You remember that came with SOCOM? Came with a microphone system, little thing you plug in your ear. Sometimes people use it for their cell phone, because it's almost the same thing anyway. Yep, that's way back. Genesis had a handheld system called Nomad. Took a bunch of batteries with it. I remember that thing. Before they came out with that Game Gear. Was it Game Gear? What they had? Genesis had some kind of game system or console system. Came with some kind of Mickey Mouse paint adventure on it. But they had something called the Nomad. The 32X? No, the 30X didn't exist. It did exist. I had one. 32X definitely did exist. There was a 32X. There was a Sega CD. There were two versions of that. There's one with the open top and there's one with the drive. Yep. All that stuff, man. Yep, the era of the light guns. Everybody remembers that. With the foot pedals. Reload, reload, reload. You're sitting in the arcade at the time you get to arcade. You never would have an exact arcade port because your system didn't have the capability to do it. 16-bit, couldn't do it. Neo Geo could do it. Neo Geo could definitely do an exact arcade port because it's a big boy system. They had an actual arcade arcade motherboard in their console system. That's why the console system was so massive. Now, I mean, people from the NES, people are Super Nintendo fans at the end of the day. You know what the 5 screws stand for on the back of a cartridge? You know, probably some people don't even know what those 5 screws stand for. There are 5 screws. Some had 4, some had 5. What's the difference between the 4 and the 5 screws on the back of a Nintendo cartridge? There's actually a difference. So the 4 screws are the new ones. The 5 are the older ones. The 5, if you actually find one with 5, if it's still in there, they didn't take it out, had a memory card in there that you can pull that would have games on that hard drive. And those were import games from overseas. Some of these games were just full-around games, like programmer games and stuff like that. But they're worth a lot of money. They're worth $1,000 a chip if you find one of them. Difference between the 5 screws and 4 screws on the back of a system. Well, that's not true, Mr. Bird. You don't know what you're talking about. Do I? Do I? I don't think you do. Really? 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 5 screws on the back of a Nintendo cartridge. Oh, they talk about the little memory system on the back of the hard drive. So, basically, the 5 screws version, earlier releases, earlier rare NES games have 5 screws. These particular screws, these include 3 mentions above on 2 or more, the very top corner of the front. So there's actually 2 at the top, 2 at the bottom, there's 1 in the center. So basically, there was games on these little hard drives. It was converted chip that was in there. They're the ones that came over from Japan. Japanese ones were over there, and it was converted chip, and it was converted to U.S. But there were other stuff on the hard drive too, but there are other games that weren't converted. And if you found one and you pop one of these things up, and one of those converted chips were in there, they're worth quite a lot of money. So all those games you might have thrown away, yeah, I think one of them could have a converter chip sitting inside of it. It used to weigh $1,000. That's why I said at the end of the day that if you don't have knowledge in certain things, you have any idea how much money has passed through your fingers. People go to yard sales all the time, and people say, why didn't they sell it? You know, when people get to a certain age, money ain't really that big a deal anymore. You know what I mean? I mean, you're going to pass sooner or later, all your stuff's going to be left behind. What's good is money anymore? So you get to that point where you get that old, you just don't care. That's why they donate a lot of this stuff over to the church and stuff like that, because, you know, they're going to be passing pretty soon. They don't care about that stuff. Who cares? So, you know, you care about that stuff when you're younger. It has value to it. But when you're older, like, you know, who cares? But anyway, yeah, they pass that stuff over. And then somebody finds it, they go to a yard sale. It could be something worth a lot of money staring you right in the face. Something that could change the outcome of your life. But you wouldn't even know what to do with it because you don't even know what it is. That's why it pays to know stuff at the end of the day. That's why it pays to educate yourself on stuff. Early release games, rare NES games, have 5 screws. So, now you know. So next time you go to yard sale, you see a whole crate of NES toys. NES Super, you look at it right there. 5 screws. Early releases. Early rare NES games have 5 screws. So you see a stack of them over there? Check for them 5 screws in the back. And you'll find out that it's a converter. It's a converter they put in there to convert Japanese games to American games. But not all the games were converted. Some of them games on there at the end of the day are basically test games. Games that were never released. Worth a lot of money. Five screw NES games have a converter. The early 5 screws from 1985 to 1986 sometimes contain a Famicom to NES adapter inside. Famicom is what the Japanese version of NES. Ever had one of those? I had one shipped over one time. It's totally completely different gaming. Allow you to play 60 or 60 pins and play a 60 pin. On Japanese games, 72 pin to US. Converters are found in the earlier, heavier 5 screws games. That's why it pays to know stuff at the end of the day. See, I go to a sale go to a place like that. I'll see a crate of them. You walk by, you say, "Oh, this is junky games. Nobody play them anymore." I'll buy the whole stack, make a couple grand. They're in there. You know the difference between 100% bone china and milk and what's it called? Milk china, milk bone china. Yeah, milk bone china is worth a lot of money. You know what to look for. I've seen people have a set of gold plates they put out, old plates. What they're worth, they're worth a lot of money. China's worth a lot of money. You know which one to look for. Milk bone china. high quality bone china, milk cream, high quality china for a lot of money. You can get a tea, what do you call it, like a cream for pouring cream, like $87 just for that little tiny container. If you can find the right ones, if you find the right ones that are more popular, they're worth a lot of money. You have to know which ones are worth money, which ones are not. Bone china, bone china. So when I was young, my mom used to take me to all these antique stores. She taught me all this stuff. She was a collector. So you never know. So you might need some money or whatever. You should know exactly how to find it. Money's all over the earth. The earth is saturated with money. There's all kinds of collectibles and things all over the earth. If you don't know what they're worth, then you don't know what they're worth. That's all to it. People walk past stuff that's worth a lot of money. You don't even know what it is. And there's an old piece of furniture worth a lot of money. That's what I liked about the Antique Roadshow. That woman that sat there and her husband lost a job, and she's sick, and she can't work. She's feeding her family off potatoes in the backyard using a big old spoon. And found out this spoon is descended from Henry VIII. Worth a lot of money. And the thing about it is, now they go check back on it in history, see if they stole it or whatever happened. No, they're descendants, they're royal blood, didn't even know it. Interesting, right? Didn't even know. This is before you got into that all instantly testing on so you could do it yourself. Somebody else had to do it, but they never knew they were royal blood. That spoon was passed down from family to family to family, and in the collection of Henry VIII's entire dinnerware, the spoon was missing. That's the only thing that was missing. Found out this family actually owned the spoon. It was theirs. So what they'll do is sometimes they'll try to test, see if you're actually connected by any bloodline. If you're not, they'll take it from you. Probably give you a little something. Not something that you should, more than what you should be getting, but it don't belong to you. Whatever bloodline that belongs, that's where it's going to. I found that they didn't know that the entire time these people are living poor, and the house is going up for foreclosure, and they don't know what they want to do, and she's back there feeding this family with potatoes every day. Found that the very spoon that she was using the day of those potatoes was worth millions and millions of dollars, priceless. Can't put a price tag on it. So she can literally rent that spoon. As a matter of fact, whatever is in that museum is also inherited by her family because their bloodline is, they have a strong bloodline with Henry VIII. They're actually descendants from Henry VIII. Isn't that shocking to find out you got royal blood in your system? Yep, she was sitting there crying her eyes out. That guy came back and told her, they brought these people back with them to talk to her, to explain to her family and all that stuff. Yeah, they're royal blood. Didn't know it. Ain't gonna never need anything else again now. It's super rich. Go from digging potatoes in the backyard to going ultra rich, just like that. Because she just thought, well, she fed spoon been in the family for years. She thought she'd just take it up there and see what would happen. She wasn't expecting anything. Found out she's not like super rich. People want to interview them, want to know about them. She wants to know about her history now. Yeah, all that changed in a hot second. Oh man, on Frasier, the grandfather had this. I love Frasier. The grandfather had this old clock from Russia or something like that, some Russian clock. He had a bear clock, and found out the bear clock. They did the history. Came back from a really like an emperor or something like that, like some kind of emperor or something. And they was walking around, thought they was better than everybody else. Like, we got royal blood in us. We got royal blood and royal blood. Oh man, oh man, talk about getting torn a new one. Good gracious, man. That's what I love about Frasier, man. They think they're, it's the, if you've never watched Frasier, some people think it's about a bunch of snobs. No. Frasier is the most interesting show ever. It's about these two guys, we already know two guys in the day, who think they're a little better than the common man because they're psychiatrists at the end of the day. But when you really think about it, they're just like us, but 10 times worse. They're petty, really petty. They do really bad stuff at the end of the day. That's what makes Frasier so funny. They're a lot like the father. They want to be more like the mother because mother was more culture and everything.
But they're a lot like the father. They are petty. They fight. They do all kinds of evil stuff in the day. But they're funny. But anyway, and when they chalk it up as every time they do something destructive as an experiment toward man, we're just they had these little toys. We're just basically trying to figure out what the common man's are. We're just all experiment when really they know that they do some jacked up stuff. They believe in revenge, all kinds of stuff. But anyway, they got this clock. And the father was like, oh, it's just something old, laying around, you know what I mean? I had it in my lockbox for a long time. And they went and got it appraised. They broke into their father's room and got it appraised because he would appreciate it. The reason for the things that they do, like breaking into his place to get stuff out of there, to get appraised, we're just doing it for the family. And we need to know at the end of the day, he doesn't understand. He doesn't come from that type of culture life. He doesn't really understand. He's a cop, you understand. So long story short, they go over and they take this thing down to get it appraised and found that it belonged to an emperor. And that there's a possibility that they have high-end royal blood in their system. So now, boom, head explosion, walking out and they're better than everybody else. And the guy says, look, I got to hold on to this because I know some stuff about this, but I don't know the real nitty-gritty about it. I got to bring in a professional. Now, go ahead, take your time, take your time, take your time. And now they're walking around like they're all better than everybody. We got royal blood, royal blood, royal blood. To find out that their ancestor was a prostitute and she was a regular for this whatever emperor where he was, and in a fit of rage because she did not get paid her wages, she stole the clock. And they've been trying to track this thing down forever until it popped up by these guys. So he said, wait, let me get this straight. So we're not royal blessed. No, actually you're lower than peasant. You're basically your ancestor, she's a prostitute. And she stole the clock because she didn't get paid her wages after basically pleasure and other. It was messed up. And he said, so we're just peasants. No. You listen to me. You're under that. You're under that. These peasants worked in the day. She was a streetwalker. Oh man, it was messed up. And they had it. And the messed up thing about it, they had a showing. They literally set up a showing for people to come in, and they can build up their glory at the end of the day. I'm gonna have this guy come in, professional. Fraser paid for this whole event, everything. And man, they got belittled. That's what I loved about it. They get the humbleness they had to go through is horrible. The whole thing about the painting incident, where he invited the actual person who painted the painting so he can brag and talk about it. And she came and said, what the frig is this? I didn't paint that. Well, I gotta go. And left. Oh my goodness. This is funny as I don't know what. I love Fraser. But deep down inside, man, they're just like everybody else. They're petty. They're not saying they're petty, but yeah, they try to chalk it up as an experiment toward man. Oh, the painting, they're saying what the painting incident. The guy ripped them off. The guy showed him a duplicate. He got over on him. And when he went back to get his money back, the guy was like, what you gonna do? It's no return policy. He said, but you don't have anything here saying that. It's like, it is what it is. It's whatever the person wants to believe it is. You want to believe it's real, it's real. When it's not, it's not. But it's up to you. He said, you can take them to court and whatever, but, that'll be tied up in litigation forever. I got money, you got money at the end of the day. Nah, take forever. You'll never see your money. He was right on that. So he went back, talked to his father as a police officer. He said, well, you can't win them all. Sometimes you get got. That's how it is. You just have to know it's a learning experience. You'll learn from this. So Fraser was mad. He was upset. He just could not let it go. And this guy embarrassed him at this party. The painting wasn't real. But that was it. He lost it. He decided to take out his storefront window. He went and got his car, got a brick. He was going to take the window out. See, they sleep down on a level. So break the window. And then Niles went out there to talk him out of it. And he finally got him to drop the brick. And then when he left, Niles triggered and took the brick and threw it through the window anyway. Threw money in the window and took off. That felt fantastic. Why don't we do this stuff more often? Go to a psychiatrist. Oh, I forgot. Yeah. They had the father's side too. That's what I found funny about Fraser. I loved it. Stuff they did was hilarious, man. Let me see where I want to put this at. We got the paint over here for project. Someone was asking about the projector mapping technology because we do with the art community, and they're asking what that stuff does. We're showing them some of the cool stuff you can do with it. Let me see. Let me go over to. We're making it 32s and 1 gallons only. We don't have a gunmetal one here. We didn't develop. Let me get a gunmetal here. We did do a gunmetal one here. Where are you? I know we made a gunmetal.
Excuse me. Let me see. Gunmetal. My apologies. Let me see. Gunmetal. 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 Oh, it is a gunmetal. This is a gunmetal. 20 gallon too. Oh, there you go. We did make one of these. Oh yeah, we made this when we first came here. This was a gunmetal technology. It's an ILEG? Huh. And you make so much stuff and then you really don't remember half the stuff you made. We made this one already for. Well, it's an ILEG. It's an ultra black supreme gunmetal. We did develop one of these. Oh, gotta go to the recipe book. I write everything down in my recipe book. What was this one made to do? Now I gotta look this thing up. We actually made one of these things. Let me see. Wait, is that the whole thing? Is that the whole name of it? Let's go from here. Don't you got a YouTube video where you're popping off? You do. Oh, it's going. See, one of the things that, and I hate to bring this up, we already know what it is. I don't got to mention anything. But when you make up stuff that doesn't exist in your shopping carts, people will do this to you. They'll go in and they'll look at the paint you got, and they'll see if there's anything on it. So I should be, if I pull up a screen paint, I should be able to pull it up. I should be able to see every test demonstration we've done on that thing. And there it is. It had a halo system on it too. So we did make one of these things. That makes my job 10 times easier. Because we had one. We had one when we first came here. We developed one. That's it right there. It was an FLE ultra black gunmetal. I guess it's being converted to ILEG technology. That's it right there, with a halo system attached to it. It had a 6K halo system. This is before we got the caps on in the and here. So we're at 24K at 6K on the screen. And we're on a $10 projector because that's a Sony CX100. But we did develop one of these things. Well, we got one now. All I have to do is just pull the recipe out of the book. That's all. So I'm going to go find my book. Got it around here somewhere. And I got to pull my recipe. We already made it already. It's right there. I'm going from that to that giant screen. But yeah, we have it right there. We made it. Sometimes we make a lot of formulas. Yep, there it is right there. Well, convert you to a Black Widow, buddy. That made my job even easier. I mean, that made this thing already. So if this was an FLE, a fusion light energy, I'm going to upgrade the gain on it. Because that's what they are, they're gains. A sun fusion energy gain, that's a gain on it. They're gains. It allows the screens to operate. But this thing is an FLE and it's operating in this environment like that? Ooh, man. That's crazy. We do have a rear version of it coming up, but it'll be coming up next year. We did this one already. We did, let's see, gunmetal, blah, blah, blah. $60 ultra short though display. That was done. So that's the ultra short though display. Did that one. Test. Yeah, its launch date was 12/13/26. Gee, we've been there for 2 years? Wow. Usually it's a year. We had 2 years. 2 years go quick. It's splatter screen demonstration right there. So we literally made this product when we first came here in 2024, and I literally forgot we had this thing. So if the only difference, it was an FLE. Oh, we already have it already. This thing is already tested. We can literally launch with this thing. So yeah, it's good. Don't launch it. I got a company already coming to pick it up to put it on the screen. We have one already. You see how dark that screen is? That's a true gunmetal. That screen is not even black. That's an actual dark gray. If you look at my cabinet system I have over here, my cabinet system is black. This right here is gray. When I see screens that have gray, you don't have gunmetal. You have what you call charcoal gray. That's what you have. Charcoal gray and gunmetal aren't the same thing. Wow, we had this thing already. I'm thinking we made this thing already. Pull up the arc as a you had to make one of these. All right, cool. That may say that, you know, time that saves me at the end of the day. Taco's always sleeping next to the one. Yeah, we had this thing. Look at that. Look at the difference between that and oh yes, I remember this. This is when I was doing the demonstrations. And one of the trolls came in and said that that's just a hole. He literally thought that was a hole in the screen, and I placed up against the screen. And again, I can't express this enough. I'm not trying to be rude here, but listen to what you just said. Even if it was a hole in the middle of the screen, you do know there's a white surface laying against it, and you do know the projector's hitting that too, right? Don't let that sink in for a minute. Let's let that process for a minute. Let that marinate for a minute. Let it marinate in there for a minute. So, in order for the projectors striking the screen, that would mean the white hole, if there's a hole in there, right? Wouldn't that mean the outer part of the screen that's white would also be getting struck by the projector? I mean, that'd be some crazy physics that would pop off if just the screen was being hit by the projector that's producing the image and not the white surface, because that would have to be hit too also. So if that being the case, even if there was a hole in the middle of it, you still have the outer part of the screen that's still being struck by the projector that's not picking up. And this is what I had to explain to him. See? What happens at the end of the day? Stop listening to the devil. Devil make you guys like idiots. I hate to call people idiots, but it does. He makes you look stupid. It does. Why, when you even think about that, it ain't like the projector's going to go up, you know, we're just going to go around that and go underneath of that. And that's beyond the laws of physics. No, it's being struck too. It's not picking up. But there's no hole in the middle of it because I pushed it back and I turned it around and said, look, no hole. I bet you was sitting there, that blew his mind when I said that. Like all these numbers started popping up in his head. He just started finding planets flying all around and Earth. Like, what the freak? It blew his mind. And it shut him down for a little bit. Yeah, the whole thing would have to be hit with that. Ooh, that gunmetal was sweet. Oh yeah, we do have to make this. I don't have to go to composition book. I know exactly how it was developed. Yeah, bringing this baby back. So that means I can take these pictures and put them up on my whatchamacallit because we have it. We just have it. There's a different game sitting on top of it. That's all. We got pictures for this thing already. Let the loading begin. I'm going to go to my phone and load these up on Facebook. These are the pictures we want to use right here when we advertise it. Why not? That's the impact right there. Oh, Mother George. We've done this one already. That's good to know. Saves me a lot of time and work. I'm still going to call it the black, but I like that one better. And I'm glad we're going to change the ingredients just a little bit. Hey, there's me walking across. Yay, hey, bird, what's up? Look at my table. Look how much light reflects off my table. Now you show those tests, that's literally how much tests we run on the screen paint. I have more tests on my product than most people have on tests just showing this stuff off. I mean, you don't have, they have barely nothing. We have stuff on everything. Lights out, halo systems, all this is all testing. All on that product. No, even gray screen. That's our product testing against your stuff. And then we turn around and we coat it in the same surface with the apex. Somebody has to go to court for that one, by the way. Actually, I had to bring it up, but there's 6 people going to court for apex. We found your YouTube channels. Just to let you know, you got some letters coming to you by the courts. So we're suing you in court for making a false statement about our product. So we got 6 people, including him, going to be sued for this. You know, life is hard enough as it is. Oh, good gracious. I'm not even going to have that conversation. Y'all should know. Y'all adults. Forget it. Move on. These are unboxing videos right here. Stuff we're buying, we unbox, put against the screen. Yeah, this stuff is all tested. We even have one underwater. Wait, is that underwater or is that the rear technology? Oh, that's the rear technology you're messing around with. Oh, the 50 lumen projector. That says so. Heck yeah, we did this thing already. You can build so much, do so much stuff, you forget like how much stuff you do. All right, then let's begin on basically building my site because we already have it done. Oh yeah, let's go back here. We've done it already. Oh, can I put some videos in here from this? Oh, we can't because the video's got a different name to it. So we got to go on and do the other ones. No, we just put in basically it's an upgrade. We upgraded the technology, we just put it in explanatory. But I still want to show it off. I'm going to show up on the screen that we're going to be doing for the customer. And that's the cool thing about it. The first person is going to have that technology, because it's going to be available on the website, but the first person actually going to have it on display is on commercial property. You're going to have it. They're going to be showing it off. You're going to be the first ones to have the technology. Light bright, turn out the lights up, flower lights. Alright, let me see. Dippity doo da, dippity day. My oh my, what a wonderful day. Let me see what we got going on here. Let's change you out. Now you got a new name. We have, oh no. Our 1 gallon to up to a 250 inch screen. 250 inch screen. You hear that crazy noise in my back? Massager in the back. Yeah, put you on the low. Oh, that is so whatchamacallit. Oh, time to get a new one. My oh my, what a wonderful day. Do 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 do. Do. Oh, we're gonna need it in there. Take this one out. Do. Black. Oh, a little bit more, buddy. Over. Black, Widow. Caps on? Yes. Widow. Titanium gunmetal. Black Widow titanium gunmetal. 1 gallon. Ooh. So we have to fast and easy. We can use all the stuff right here. Let me see. Please note that product was upgraded with a new gain under the ILE technology. Did you butcher me? I-O? Really? I-O? Huh. You didn't even put the whole thing in there. I-L-E-G. I-L-E-G. Oh, that's supposed to be capital. I-L-E-G. I-L-E-G. Technology. Please note. 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 Technology. Please note. Bum 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 bum. ILEG, infusion light energy gain. There we go. That'll be us. Oh, we're not done. They're still basically working on that whole link system and coding and all that stuff. Yeah, I got a bunch of people working on it right now. We're not done. We're roughly 60% done on all the coding we need to do. Every single video, well, not videos, there'll be 15,000 is a lot, but majority of the ones right now that we need, they're all coded. Pictures, everything's coded. Everything's coded. It's embedded. So whatever you hit, it brings only us up. And we have to do something with that whole... The only screen I can see right now that we have to do something with is freaking Smarter Surface. That's it. It keep coming up on my feed. I gotta do a bunch of videos showing why our product is different from theirs. Because they're nothing like our Black Tech. I tested their stuff already. Let me see. I haven't seen one demonstration of that screen outside. They don't use them outside. They never use them outside. I actually contact and talk to them. They don't use them inside. They use them in ambient controlled environments. They had that issue where they don't pick up those white levels high enough. Because you got to be able to use the white levels as high as you can. But they do. You know what I'm saying? E stands for infusion light energy gain. Here we go. Gain technology. Put a little boldness on that. A little boldness on there. There we go. A little boldness. That's too close to my other one. Separate that over there. We hit that 8,000 mark, did we? We should be good, right? That's one thing that scares me out here. Sitting at 8,000 mark. Oh, I need to bold this up a little bit. Get a little boldness on there. Boom. We got boldness on you. Let me get that boldness on you. Oh, we have boldness on this. You took it off. Get that boldness back on there. Boom. There we go. Better. All right. Let me see. Fast paint on demonstration. We are going to do this one again. Let's see. ILEG, but we can do this one again. We'll do this one again. Change this over. Put a new link in there. Change this over to ILEG. ILEG. Whoop. Here. This will be capital in there. ILEG demo. Lights on demonstration. Lights off demonstration. Yeah. Lights off demonstration. Should be ILEG. It has to come out of there. We need a new one for that one. And where we're going to do this at? We're going to do this on the customer's screen. Right off this screen. And people say, I thought you were leaving. Yeah, we are leaving. We are definitely leaving. I don't have anything to take with me. That's 30. The desk belongs here. The desk belongs. The chair belongs here. I got two PCs over here. I got a bunch of cardboard works in here. That's it. That's going into a pod unit because I don't want to get any damage. You know, my cardboard is intact. We don't have no furniture here. The floor system we're definitely not taking. I think it was a headache since I've had it here, so that's going. That's gone. And the screen's nothing but a tile system that all fits into a box. Everything we have here sits in the back of a cheap, a small U-Haul truck, not cheap, a small U-Haul truck. Everything here fits in a small U-Haul truck. That's it. We don't have any furniture in here. That's it. That's all. And we're out. I got a warehouse, a good sized one too. Not a big size. I eat that thing, but a good sized one. And how did I get it? Well, somebody came and saw they want to invest in the company. We told him we need something. We don't need money. We need something. We need a warehouse. And he works in real estate, so he got us a building. Nice one. We can basically plenty of room to breathe, and on top of that, it has an office area, which is nice, and a little loading dock. And again, as I said before, the reason why we're not going to do any more streams now, these are the last streams we're doing. And the reason why is because we can't give up location where the building's at, because you've seen the mess we went on over here with Williams and McAfee and all of them were carrying over here. Yeah, that's why. So while we're there, you guys will be under investigation. Yes, I'm glad that we got everything wrapped up, everybody's name, everybody was involved in this mess. We got you all put in, and some of you are still coming in because they're still collecting more stuff off of YouTube and sending it through emails. There's emails connected to the investigators and connecting to federal, all that stuff. Your stuff is being sent over. So it's still being done as we speak, because a lot of people are doing some really dumb stuff and shouldn't be doing that at all, period. All because you were mad at my products because, you got jealous. Now, if you're saying you were jealous, then why did you do what you did? Let's say we're fakes. Well, that's why we're going to court at the end of the day. We're challenging you in court. So if I get mad over that, why would you sit there and get mad? Well, I'm mad at the end of the day because he's taking me to court. You made a statement. We're challenging you in court. Enough said. That's the end of it. There's nothing more to say. Your job is just to show that our product did exactly as you said it did, which you will not win that case. That's all. That's what that comes down to. Simple and plain. Let's see. Gray and white screen versus energy. Right there. Let's see. No time for nonsense. How about some King's Challenge and all that? We go a court challenge. We'll see you in court. That's what we call it. Me, you, and the judge. We'll see it in court. That's all. It'd be called court challenge then. Take this out. We don't need this right here. Put a new one in there. Let me see. That's supposed to be there. That's not supposed to be there. That's supposed to be there. Let me see. Oh, did that just pop in there? Or did it not? Oh, it did. It's not supposed to be there. You know that. Let's see. That's a good show. Odd Couple. Really good show. Felix. It's a real good show. One was an absolute slob, and the other one was basically a neat freak. Boy, I tell you, in combination with two put together, the writers who thought of that show were geniuses, man. That's an actual good one right there. That's an actual good one. I like that Amish in the City, too. That was a good one. Amish in the City was really good. It was really, really good. That's really good. They stuck him in the heart of it all. California. Club scene. They stuck him in that area, like Malibu. They stuck him over there. Boy, man, it was just crazy watching people like, I don't know how they deal with it at the end of the day. To tell you the truth, that's crazy. I mean, you can't get away from technology. Well, technically, you can't get away from technology. You literally can't. You can go off the grid. You can have technology. If you ain't got no towers out there, that's actually a curious thought. Like, in some of these more remote areas, do they even pick up any type of signals? Because you got freaking cell phone towers just about everywhere. They got them out in the middle of the ocean, and you can put what do you call it? An oil rig out there where they dig for oil in the middle of nowhere. You can put it. They got towers out there. How do you think they're communicating back and forth? They got towers out there. They got towers on the rig. They got satellite. They got satellite link to link, all that stuff out there. So yeah, they got signal out there. So yeah, we just got. How many areas on the U.S. does not have towers? There's towers everywhere. So even when you see like on YouTube, and you watch some of those videos, I like to watch even on YouTube, where they show people in these remote islands, you know what I mean, that live in the Amazon and stuff like that. They have cell phone technology out there. That's why you find out, like, I go to those places, they show different type of foods they eat, their entertainment, stuff you would never see in a million years. That now you can see it now because of cell phone technology. So they have to have signals out there. So yeah, they record it, you know. They make good money too. They make a lot of good money. They make money off YouTube views, their channels. They make money because people go in and watch it because you're curious. I'm curious what they eat for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. What y'all do for entertainment. What your music like out there. You know, it's pretty much like traveling there without traveling there. You know. So yeah, it's pretty cool to watch. I love watching that kind of stuff. I watch that stuff all day. But majority, if I had time, I would watch it all day. But I'm always curious. So they make good money. They had those kids over in Africa that were doing the different dance styles and stuff. They were synchronized and doing it. They were really, really good. They ended up coming to the United States over that. So even the cell phone technology is a way for, basically, if you use it correctly, with YouTube correctly, you can make something for yourself. You can actually basically come out of poverty and live pretty good. Or you can do something stupid and end up getting locked up and sued. So, it goes both ways. Technology is interesting. Let me see. Name of the titanium gunmetal. But I thought that's interesting. Oh yeah, there are cell phone towers just about everywhere. You can pretty much think about it. Here in the United States, you can't. You're gonna find a signal. There's cell phone providers fighting for space right now over here. Can you hear me now? Yeah, I can hear you everywhere. Let me see. Black contrast shifting. No, we don't need black contrast shifting technology for this because we make ourselves different now. So that's not needed anymore. Let me see. Category color should be screen paint. On screen. Let me see. Gain. Infusion light energy gain. Can you imagine if they had freaking cell phones back in the era of the war with Washington? You wouldn't have anybody coming down. Is it the British are coming? Like, nope. Really? They coming right now? All right, get ready. They coming. Yeah. If the cell phones went back to that era, it'd just be a whole different era. It really would be, with cell phone communication. Take a picture like dinosaur. Dinosaur, girl, dinosaur. No, but there were no cavemen. People get all mad about that. Like, there were cavemen. Show me where there's a caveman. Show me where. Show me any museum of an actual caveman fossil. Show me one. There isn't any. It's all mannequins. Every single one has mannequins in them. There were no cavemen. Cavemen didn't even exist. People in this evolution, dumb nonsense. Talking about cavemen, please. Show me one fossil of a caveman. Show me. Because if you have a fossil of a caveman, if you're able to obtain one, just one, this thing would have been in every museum. It would have been everywhere. Not just, why would you have it in one museum only? It would be everywhere. No, they're mannequins. Every time you go to a museum, you always see the same thing. You see a bunch of dinosaur bones. You see everything else under the face of the sun. Fish, centipedes, bugs, everything. But you don't see nothing on man at all, period. Say they found one. Say if they happen to find one, right? It'd be televised. You would have plaques and screens showing. They can't get the actual artifact here. So they'll have like a screen like, we found man and blah, 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 blah. They'll put a whole section for it. There's no freaking cavemen. So which one is it? When I get the people who basically, even people who believe in that stuff, they even fight among themselves. So if they didn't spawn from monkeys, right? Then they spawned from fish. Because they're getting like, we came from the fish and we sprouted legs and we walked on land. Well, which one is it? Because you got too many theories. Then you got the whole Big Bang Theory at the end of the day. Oh, yeah, so the entire world and all of existed just explode. So how come it doesn't keep doing it? Because if that's the case, you would constantly see explosions going up all the time. And then evolution means constant change. Why is a cat still a cat, a dog still a dog? I mean, you mean tell me a cat has been around since the Egyptian era and it hasn't changed yet? We don't got no horns on it, it doesn't breathe fire, it doesn't fly, nothing. It's just still the same cat as it always was. But then you go back to the prehistoric era and those things were the size of freaking buses. Or say caravan, but the size of a caravan, huge giant fang lines, and a totally different structure creature than what you have today. So yeah, why in the world has nothing changed? Whale still a whale, shark still a shark. You find a different species that you've never seen before from time to time, but still, same thing. Nothing's changed. So with that being said, the world didn't blow up into existence. God made man in the image of himself. When you build something, you just go downstairs and it just blows up in your shop and just, wow, it's just there. That doesn't happen like that. You have to think it and build it like God did when he did the earth. He thought of it, he built it. Same thing when we build stuff. We plan, we build, we plan, we think about it, we build it. So nothing blows up in your freaking living room. Like, I don't know when a TV, boom, and if you come downstairs, you got to pick a flat screen plasma down there. It doesn't work that way. So I have friends of mine that are into evolution. I just laugh at them like, yeah, right, sure, yeah. Yeah, if I came from a monkey at the end of the day, I'm the most uncoordinated ape on the face of the planet, like swinging from rope. As a matter of fact, everybody is. Only people that basically can jump off or something and land are people who took a class in gymnastics or some kind of training class that allow you to do that. You have to be trained to do that. Cats don't have to be trained. Cats can jump off stuff and land on their feet all the time. Yeah, fantastic ability to be able to do. You don't have that at all, period. We have to be trained to know it. So how are apes swinging around with the fantastic ability to be to jump and climb and all this stuff, you know what I mean? And yet we have to be taught it. Yeah, sure. I don't even eat bananas. I'm allergic to them. I don't know how they even work. No. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my entire life. God made man, Adam and Eve. That's the end of the story right there. And say the whole world exploded into existence. Then they come up with the whole dinosaur era. They said dinosaurs were destroyed by a meteor that struck the earth. Oh. A meteor big enough to hit the earth and destroy all existence. Usually in history, something that happens the first time always happens the second time. So it means we're due for a meteor to strike the earth and just destroy, which again ain't going to happen because then that conflicts with revelations in the Bible about how the world's going to be destroyed. It would make God a liar, and he's not. So that, no, right there, that theory's down the drain. Any other theory? You know what happened to the dinosaurs? It says in the Bible, Satan killed the dinosaurs. When Satan got cast out of heaven and hit the ground, he was furious. He tore that earth up. That's what happens there. Adam and Eve, because there were no cavemen, that means there were cavemen. That means Adam and Eve wouldn't exist because they were the first male and female. That means Satan was here when the dinosaurs were here. And if Satan got cast out of heaven and he struck the earth and tore up the earth, that means he was here before Adam and Eve. It doesn't, like I said, it adds up. If you read the Bible, it adds up. So if there was early man here and God made cavemen, then why would Adam and Eve be dubbed the first? And the cavemen were already here. That means there were no cavemen here. And when Satan was thrown out of heaven and he hit the earth, he destroyed all that was on the earth because he was angry with God. And then you had Adam and Eve. That means Satan was already here. Satan just couldn't get into the garden because, again, he was permitted to not be there. And the animals, which Adam and Eve, which have been us, are the high intelligent level, immortality and all that stuff, no death, destruction on the earth. We have none of that didn't exist. But if Satan was here, he was definitely here. So he tried to figure out, how in the world can I get in there and corrupt man? How do I do this? He couldn't do it through Adam. Adam wasn't curious about the tree. Eve was curious about the tree, and he saw she was curious about the tree. So now, if I get in there, I can persuade her to eat from that tree. Because she's already curious about it. I just got to push her a little bit. And all the animals said, no, we're not letting you in, except for the snake. The snake was the only one that allowed the devil to go in and influence Eve from the tree. That's why I tell people at the end of the day, if you have snakes, you brought a cursed creature into your home. Because the snake is the only animal out of God's creatures that's cursed. Snakes used to walk upright. Upright. Because the cobras, no, cobras don't walk upright. They walked upright. So, imagine that. You imagine how crazy that would have been? Anaconda, freaking like 30 feet long, standing up, walking around. Yeah, that'd freak you out, wouldn't it? Or there you go. But anyway, so at the end of the day, snake allowed the devil, the inner. Snake got into the Garden of Eden because he had passage in. Eve got persuaded. She ate from the tree. She coached Adam. Adam ate from the tree. When God walked into the garden, he said, "Where are you?" They said, "We're hiding." He said, "Why are you hiding?" "Because we're naked." He said, "Who told you you were naked?" Because they wouldn't know that if they didn't eat from the tree. And they got cursed, which means we got cursed. We're descendants from Adam and Eve. That's why one of the curses, two of the curses, women will bear their children in pain today, and man will work by the sweat of his brow. We're cursed. Our bodies are designed to die. We grow old. Even though things of the world murder and kill each other. Look at tigers. Look at bears. Look at those animals today. Does that look like something that was designed to be a murderous creature? You look at that between the tiger and the era we have now, and the tiger in the prehistoric era. Look at spiders that we have now compared to spiders in the prehistoric era. Look at the sea creatures like the megalodon that was swimming in the ocean in that particular era compared to the sharks we have now. Do you have any idea how dangerous it would be if a megalodon actually existed in the ocean? You can't go out there with no boats. That thing's not going to fear any boats whatsoever. You have to literally have a destroyer out there. And every any boats get eaten by that thing. They had things that they're bigger than that. There's another creature that in Jurassic Park was way bigger, huge, way bigger than he was. So again, we wouldn't be able to survive that. There's a purpose for everything. Those creatures had to go either way. You think about it, if you take the prehistoric creatures from that era and you stick them in the era right now, what's the survival rate of man? Even the bugs would eat us. We couldn't even live under creatures that bored on the ground. Giant worms, centipedes, all that stuff. So where would you go? You can't go up topside, you'd be killed. You got dinosaurs, you got bears, all that stuff is prehistoric. Pterodactyls will swoop up and just take you away. Would an eagle try to take you away? No, not really. Too much of a chance. It ain't going to happen. They know their place at the end of the day. So with that being said, we wouldn't have survived if those creatures were allowed to live. So with that's it right there from the door. So they had to go. Satan went down and God could have protected those creatures, but he didn't. We don't know God's plan at the end of the day. But I do know for a fact that at the end of the day, there is no caveman. Because the reason why there's no caveman, because Adam and Eve wouldn't exist. They wouldn't be considered to be the first. They wouldn't be considered to be the first male and female. They wouldn't be the first. Because the caveman would have been here already. So that would make them the second. And if that was the second, and Satan was already here, that means Satan would have corrupted them. And there is no caveman. None at all, period. None exists. So that pretty much burst the bubble for a bunch of people out there. What if it does exist? No. Sorry about that, Jack. It doesn't exist. There are no cavemen at all, period. That's why people believe in that theory. You're atheists. You don't believe in God. That's the only way you can accept that, because you can believe that God doesn't exist. By believing that God doesn't exist allows you to be able to believe in what you believe in. You'll figure it out when your time comes. So when you leave the earth, and you will, as always, everybody will, you can explain it to the Almighty how he was wrong, how you were right and he was wrong. Meanwhile, when you make it over there, keep in mind when your time comes, you're over there, that's an area you don't want to be wrong at. Let's see, category, class, projection, screen, paint. Because over there, it means you're going to the other place if you're not saved. Let me see. So you can't afford to be wrong. And then you got people who are on death row who kill and murder, whatever it did to get them over there. And when the time comes for their execution, they will call in a priest. You know why? Because they're terrified. They don't want to be wrong about what's going to happen to them in that next world. Again, They pay somebody to pray over them so they can make it to heaven, because they don't want to be in that other place forever. Ambient controlled environments. Ambient controlled environments. Did you cap this? Oh, we don't need this. Okay, we can put this here. Here, updating everything on here. Limits, 1,000 limits. Oh, type of product. Roll on or spray on. This needs to be. Did you? Oh, you did do that. Okay, we did bulk it. Bulk it there. Let's see. Roll on. Roll on or spray on screen paint. Please note this is not a physical projection screen, but a paint on inside or out projection screen. Projection screen. Projection screen paint. Should be put in there. Paint, 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 paint. Nobody must be wrong about that one. Black titanium gunmetal. What's the term? There's no atheist in the foxhole. There's an in the foxhole. It's not the time to be an atheist in the foxhole, especially when you got all the bullets firing all around you. Yeah, that's not the time to be an atheist. Nobody wants to be wrong on that one. Alright, please note this is a extreme dark light. White levels will drop a little. Please dark unwatchable. Please do not try to compare the white screen. Oh yeah, that's because of that headache all the time. People sit there, it's just simple basic physics. You sit there and basically, any screen, any gunmetal screen, any screen that's not 100% pure black, even light gray screens, white levels will drop. There's no such thing as a screen, well, then we got that other technology we're working on, so I don't know about that. That's us. No, I can't say much about y'all. I'm gonna do those tests. But anyway, there's no screen at the moment. We're getting close to it. Because remember, I told you the Imperial is 10%, and it's almost able to match a white surface and white levels. That's only 10%. It hasn't reached 100%. That's still test technology. But we don't know about that yet. It may have maybe to do it. Who knows? But until now, no. Because right now, if you mix anything into a screen that's neutral white, it's going to change and drop the white levels. You're not going to pick up the same white level as a white screen. So with that being said, anything is going to alter and change that. Now, the reason why gray screens make their product so light, because they can basically maintain a higher white level, but you hit sacrifice field too also. You can't read contrast, and contrast plays a huge role in movies, sports, gaming, everything, including the darker colors, which you can't read either, and on top of that, you can't absorb light. That's why you're in the dark. Your screen washes out. If you notice that in an ultra short throw, you're right on top of the screen. You have no distance throw, nothing there. You're right there. That's like the equivalence of me saying that, hey, look, I got to run 60 feet to get to the finish line, and you're already there. But you still, at the end of the day, still can't find the finish line, even though you're right there. See, that's the whole purpose. It doesn't work. So with that being said, your white levels are going to drop. That's why we do something called white level demonstrations. Again, not going to go well for some of you going to court, because again, we have to do these tests. They're important. We have to show the difference between our product and white levels. We do it on all the time. We put the white surface against it. We show the color levels, we show the contrast levels, we show snow levels. All that stuff has to be seen. That way we have an understanding that we need to maybe heighten the product to make the white levels higher. That's testing we may have to do. So you're going to have to do these tests. There's a level you can't drop below. You drop below that level, you're going to have a problem. One of the tests you have to do, which I have not seen anyone do this yet, which is basically you have a screen, you have whatever paint's going to match your paint. You have to do it. We do it on black versus black, and then the other surface is going to be a white surface. The projector has to be on 1,000 lumens or under, and it has to be roughly 16 feet back. You have to be in a fully lit environment where meters don't pick up. The reason why is because this allows the projector to take on as much light as possible, which you're going to have to do in this test. You travel 16 feet, you'll strike the screen. When you strike the screen, you have to pick up colors, white levels, higher than the black surface that's supposed to match your screen, and also, too, pick up the white levels that are going to be, you want it to be a point where the white surface doesn't make you look like the surface that's not working on the other end, the black surface, the black paint or whatever you have up there. It's coming up dark and dirty on your side. That white side can't come up looking like that at all, period. It has to be a nice, bright level. But when you pick up your colors, you can overpower the white surface. Because you can show colors at the end of the day that the white screen can't pick up because it can't read a contrast level. You have to do both of those at the same time. Listen, you got a company at the end of the day, and somebody requests this from you, you know how much trouble you're going to be in if you haven't done this thing yet? And mind you, these videos are time stamped. So you have to show that you did this before you sold any of that product. And they're going to ask you, how do you know 100% when you sold this product to consumers, how much of your stuff is accurate? What are you going to say in court? You're doomed. There you go. You're doomed. YouTube videos are time-stamped. All videos are time-stamped. Everything's time-stamped. Your phone is time-stamped. It's all time-stamped. So what are you going to say? So that means you sold a product not knowing the full potential, what it does and what it doesn't do. Which that falls under the line of consumer fraud. Let me see. One of the questions I'm going to ask you, the most important one, how much of your stuff is matching house paint? Can the consumer make the same product? What is the difference between 8 different gray screens and contrast levels, colors, and stuff like that? You got to show all that. Now you got to return a lot of money. Let's see, color, but to turn that in, please. Now they return a lot of money to people. That's what's going to happen. See, I go to. You guys are people who usually don't do these tests. You're on YouTube. You're on YouTube, and YouTube basically you get a little challenge here and there. That's it. Go to a forum site with it and see what happens. Go to a forum site and talk about your product and see what happens. You have any idea how many projector gurus sit on a forum site? These are people at the end of the day, I guess I know people on YouTube know what they're talking about, but these are people at the end of the day that are gurus. They know what they're talking about over there. They're going to challenge you on every level you can possibly think of. They're going to ask questions at the end of the day, going to have you baffling. You better be able to handle it. When you can't handle what they're telling you over there, you got a problem out here. Because you're going to find the same person. You're going to find the same person when you're showing up the screen. Is literally going to walk over to your screen with a gray piece of paper and put it against the screen. Watch. Me? I've been through that already. I've asked people ask me that question multiple times. What's the difference between your screen and black paint? What's the difference between your screen and black fabric? Wow, that t-shirt looks just like your screen. Been there and done it already. Even when I did with the blackout cloth surface, what do? We put the same surface right laying against it that doesn't have a coating on it. Difference. Got to show all that stuff. When we gave out free blackout cloth, regular black cloth, not even coated, we gave it away for free. You know, people thought that it did the same thing. A few people, y'all made a mistake and did that once. Said that a black surface is the same thing as our product did. Oh yeah, we know you. We know what you did. You did that. You went on and made those statements, right? That's gonna cost you $1 million. Anything that we get you on, it's gonna cost $1 million. That's what we're asking for, $1 million and up. That's what we're requesting from the courts. Because again, you did that with the being malicious and trying to make my company look like something that is not. Which means I'm going to challenge what you just said in your YouTube channel on court. I'm challenging your YouTube channel. You fail, you owe my company $1 million. I'm challenging your YouTube channel. Which means for challenging your YouTube channel, means that you have to get a subpoena for YouTube. If your channel's fake, you just made a fake channel, then next thing they do is they track your IP address. Once they figure out what cell phone provider is sitting on, they send them a document too. Say, hey, look, I need access to his data. And then they go from there. That's why you don't make statements. That's why people don't go on YouTube and go, hey, and I went at McDonald's and had their food and this the kind of meat. That'll get you in trouble. Or I bought this Jeep and automatic, the brakes went out and almost got killed. Get you sued. The company's going to challenge you. That can hurt the reputation of their company. Bad enough, they got people who walk into a restaurant. I've seen it all. People have glass, so they got glass put in the food. They'll have a piece of glass in their pocket, and they'll put it in the food and say it came like that. They would do all types of stuff. Roaches, you name it. I've seen it. They put it in the food and say it came like this with roaches in it. So you can get some free money. But none of that stuff helps you at the end of the day. It doesn't, because you stole from a company, you stole from a business, and the thing that's written in the book. So you don't want to do. Top of that, you just curse yourself when you do that kind of stuff. Bad stuff happens to you when you do that type of stuff. I watched the guy, literally, it happened right in front of my own eyes. I watched the whole thing go down. We went up there and we was all sitting there playing Mortal Kombat. This is a long time ago. Mortal Kombat came on Genesis, how way back it was. We're sitting up there and he's drinking his 40. And he's like, you know what? I'm going to get paid. And right up there, if you lived on Broad and Susquehanna, you know, a little block, you go up to Diamond Street, we call that Club McDonald's. Those of you know from North Philadelphia, you know what I'm talking about, Club McDonald's. We were over there in that section. And he says, what I'm going to do is, he had the whole planned out what they're going to do. He's going to spill some drink on the floor and slip and fall. His buddy's going to walk by, spill a drink. He was going to slip and fall. I probably told it to him before, but I'll tell it again. And he was going to slip and fall. To make it look like it was their fault. They didn't clean the floor up. Because that Club McDonald's was always crowded. It was always, we had Temple students in there. You had people from the neighborhood. It's right down in the neighborhood. So it's right, people in the neighborhood be down there. So it was pretty crowded down there all the time. But anyway, a lot of commotion going on in there. But anyway, as we they go in there, I tell them I'm not going. I'm staying here. I ain't getting involved in this mess. Y'all go ahead and do what y'all got to do. I'm staying here. So I stayed behind. So they went in there, and the story that I heard was my buddy spilled a drink, and he slipped and fell, and it looked good enough that he thought he really got hurt. So my buddy went to all the screaming and all that stuff, the drama stuff and all that stuff to make it look more realistic. Sure enough, they came in there with the paramedics. They put a neck brace on him. It was already done. He's gonna get paid. Put a neck brace on him, and they took him on a stretcher and took him to the hospital. So he's gonna get paid now. But he's gonna claim back injury, and that's the hardest thing to basically say it doesn't exist. Is back injury. So anyway, he got $27,000. That's what they gave him. So out of court. Of course he took the money. Nothing happened to him. So you think at the end of the day, well, you know, people got away with it? Nah, it's a thing called, you know, you don't get away with nothing on this planet. I watch every investment he put that money in failed. Every single investment. He put money into some kind of bar and grill restaurant. Some guy started. He knew the guy a little bit. Decided to invest in his money. Put some money into that. Found out like last week they got raided. Drug possession. They shut the whole place down. If you had money in it, you lost it. Because again, everything was evidence. You couldn't take anything out of there. So that got shut down. Lost money in that. We went out and bought this $13,000 freaking Jaguar. One of the guys was in the service. He used to work on cars. He's a mechanic, worked on cars. He said, look, let me go down and take a look at it. Don't buy it. Let me go look at it first. He being hard-headed, he rushed. The guy got him on. Well, I got somebody coming down to pick it up today. So he rushed down and he bought it. Guy got him good. That car was some HE double hockey sticks. Everything and anything went wrong with that thing. It was down there on South Street. I don't know why the car started pumping like the carbon dioxide fumes right through the air conditioner duct vents. We got sick. We ended up on the side of the road like we couldn't breathe.
oxygen tanks and everything. Then they got to tow the vehicle because it's undrivable. So you know that money costs money. Got to pay all more money out of his pocket. Whatever he had left over from the 27 went into that thing to try to keep it up and going. And then after that, there was something that happened in down Lincoln Drive. You're from Philly, you know what Lincoln Drive is. Lincoln Drive is the most dangerous strip you ever seen in your entire life. I had no idea why it still exists. So many people die on Lincoln Drive, it's not even funny. It's like the most, why would even anyone want to build something like that to begin with? It's kind of like they did a winding road up the side of a hill that has turns, sharp turns, and you really can't see what's coming around the corner until it's too late. There's no dividers. Like there's a yellow line down the middle, but what good is that if you ain't got no concrete barriers in there to keep you from slamming into the next car? If you're on the side near the mountainside, which is the mountainside that comes down, you'll hit that. Your car gets chewed up pretty fast. There's nothing but freaking clusters of rocks that stick out from jagged rocks. That'll chew your vehicle up. But if you're on the opposite side of that, that's even worse because there's an embankment down there. Sometimes there's no guardrails that go around the side, and that's like a 2-3 story drop in a vehicle, which ends up either you're lucky down the side of a steep hill, getting hit by a bunch of trees, which again you're not surviving that, or even worse, there's a lake down there waiting for you. If you hit that, you'll drown, and it's happened to people all the time. So you ride down there, there's no lights in that section. There's a light when you start, there's a light when you end. That's it. I don't know why. It's just like that. I'm talking about anybody about how dangerous Lincoln Drive is. It's a nightmare. Why do people take it? The commute's faster. It's 10 times faster. It cuts everything in half. If you have to go from A to B, like all the way downtown, it cuts it in half. But it comes with a price. It's like the devil out there waiting for you. Like, you want to go? Go ahead. I got something for you. Yeah, even if you don't want to take Lincoln Drive. I hate Lincoln Drive. Bikes don't even go down Lincoln Drive. It's dangerous. But anyway, we hit the Lincoln Drive and the headlights go out. And the car was trying to kill him. You mean to tell me the minute we take off in Lincoln Drive, lights cut off? We just got killed in that thing, in that car a couple times. We take it down and the lights got a fuse and the lights blew out. Right when we cross over that line, the fuse go out. We get down there through that mess. We're creeping around these corners now to get around there. And he's kind of keeping scratching up his car and these freaking jagged rocks that are sticking out. So we got a floodlight moving it back and forth so people can see we're coming down the side of this road. Freaking craziness. What was the other incident that happened? Oh, brakes went out. Brakes went on the car, on his vehicle. He soft hit a wall. Didn't do too much damage. The brakes completely went out. That was one incident that cost him $400. It's a Jaguar. They take the whole system apart. That was $400 to take it apart. And then they had to turn around for the brakes. It was more money. And then what else happened? The last thing happened. Two things happened. Forget. The entire muffler system came off. I'm not talking about the muffler at the far. I'm talking about the entire muffler system from the whatever that thing connects to. It was like huge, about 6 feet long, a muffler on the ground. That fell off. And then last but least, the engine block cracked in half. So the guy resoldered or rewelded the engine block. It cracked in half like a walnut crack. That was it. So the vehicle was worth nothing. So what he could do was scrap it for parts. So roughly, he sunk all his money into trying to bring that vehicle to life. They sucked up all his money and he ended up with nothing. Actually owed money. Yep. And don't pay. And better off he didn't even touch the money. If he didn't do that. Yep. Everything catches up with your life. He had a beautiful wife. Whole family worked for the city. He had a city job. He made good money. But he didn't want to do that because he didn't like to work. He'd rather just live off other people. He was the Eddie Haskell of the group. That's what he was. And long story short, he was cheating on his wife with all these women. Caught up to him. Got kicked out of the house. Lost full custody of the kids. Everything. And he got fired from the job. I don't know what he does now. To tell you the truth, honestly. So that being lazy and trying to get rich and all that nonsense, man. Stupid, man. I had somebody work for the city. I did just rise and rank. That's all. Came to work, did my job. I got people that worked there too for the city. Yeah, did my job, rose and rank, become a manager, whatever. Head supervisor, something. The high rank. Hey, what's up, Taco Bird? That's what I would have done. Retire with a nice pension, nice package. Yep, yep. And at that,
If I'm by myself, truthfully, when I'm making that bread, I'm gonna start me a side hustle. I'm starting a little business. There's your mousey boy. You're mousy. Okay, we got right here. Paint on application. Too much. Let me just spray it anymore. I think it's the stain sprayer. Wagner stain sprayer. There we go. Oh, they did 350s now. The 350s. I'm rid of the 150s. The 350s. For that. I remember last time we used these. Wagners. I keep changing those out. No, get out, get out. There we go, there we go. There we go. From there. Paint sprayer. Please note when using a paint sprayer, using a well-illuminated area, safety glasses and safety painter's mask. Oops. When painting fabric. Painting fabric. Why is there an H in there? Painting. Let's see. Up caps are on again. Alright, oops. Really? Seriously, bird? Let's see. Fabric. Facing it when painting any kind of non paint roller, especially on paper, blah. And then larger rollers. Do not use the screen using paintbrushes. Do not paint the screen with paintbrushes from rollers. This will damage and mark the screen. VOC eco-friendly, 100% water-based. Alright, type information. Finish kind of side of the screen, clean out water. Paint on application. Let me see right there. Let's see hours. No. Okay, projector support, projector paint, screen paint, projector support. Boxes are good. I'll leave the pictures here. I'm gonna go in and grab the label. Label. Talking about that label. The label. Definitely dropping some videos in there. I'm gonna drop videos in there from here. I'm gonna drop videos in there on site. So you can see the screen in action in commercial environment. In commercial environment. There we go. There we go. Bam, 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 bam. Two up here. There we go. Take your place. So I have all these changed up to the new ones. Let me see. All right, it's not available yet. We have it. Well, I want to make sure I get the customers done first, so that way we can show it off. We're showing a menu, but we'll leave none to be purchased. When the customer's one is done, we got it set up, got his pictures and demonstrations and all that on display, and it'll be made available in the shopping cart. Oh wait, this is 32 ounces, right? This is 1 gallon. 1 gallon. Did you put down a screen size specification on what size screen this paints up to? Da 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 da. Let me see. 180-degree viewing angle. Viewing angle. Let me see. I'll be sure through. Compatible. Ooh, look at you over there with projector on your face. With projector on your face. You like the heat, don't you? Heat manga. Heat manga. Heat manga. 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 What is the heat manga? Taco. That's not good for you, not right? Okay. Heat manga. Check out compatible. And fully weatherproof. No. And fully weatherproof. First gunmetal screen you can take outside, because the other gunmetals can't go outside. They can't go outside and play. No, they can't. They don't take the screens outside. This one can. And fully weatherproof. Let me see. 5-year shelf life if stored and sealed properly. Please store in room temperature area. Boom! Put that in there. That's right, Shirley Jack. That's right, Shirley Jack. Shirley what? Shirley Jack. Who's Shirley Jack? It's Shirley Jack. Let me see. This is going to be a link for this. Ambient lights. No ambient light controlled environments or dark environments. Name of product. Let's see. 32 ounce. 32 ounce. Oh no, 1 gallon. This is 1 gallon here. 1 gallon. 1 gallon. Screen. Size. Max. 250 inches. 16.9 Knowing. Well, how do you know it's just 250 inches? It's not, because I've done the paint down demonstration. Approximately, it's not 128 ounces. It's approximately 196. It's actually 96 ounces. 96 ounces of our formula will paint a screen size of 250 inches, which means you would literally have paint left over to paint whatever the freak you want to paint. So you'll have paint left over, a lot left over. That's when people ask me when to buy a gallon, like, what the freak are you painting at the end of the day? A 150 inch screen? You don't need that. You don't need that. It's way too much paint. You don't need all that paint. 32 ounces to do it. How do we know we did it already? I did 16 ounces because it's a 100 inch screen. 24 ounces does the screen size of 120 inch. We had to do the paint downs for it. Let's see, 1 gallon of paint up to a 250 inch screen. Ratio size. You can do 16.9. Cool. You can do 16.10. Of course, you can do 16.10. 16.10. 0.10. Oh. Or you can do 2.35. 0.1. Note that right there. All right, let me see. Are we Gucci, Bird? Are we Gucci? We're Gucci. Because I'm Versace. My friends say this at a time. I'm Gucci. Are you Gucci? I'm Gucci. I'm Versace. All right, there we go. Yippee-ki-yay. I put the links in. That's easy to do. Once we get the screen in, code it in. Show some demonstrations of it. Short though, blah, 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 blah. Lights on, lights off, da-da-da-da. Then we'll show it. Actually, as a matter of fact, on-site demonstration. I'm putting here. Because I got to go to a company. On, oops, right there, site, DMO, on site, business owner. I just put on site demo. Can we get this in darky, in the darkness, in the dark, in the bold, in the dark? Boom! There we go. Got it. Space a little bit in there. Get out of the way. Really? Get out of there. Oh, see, you're gonna be a jerk, right? All right, there we go. I might put 2 of them in there. Okay, let me see. Da 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 da. All right, and then just go over here and just basically save and duplicate. Boom. What? Oh, mother Frankenstein. Oh, just in case. I gotta go through this bull crap. Let me see. All right, just in case. But you're not going to delete all that information I just put in there. That's just not going to happen. So we got to refresh you, or you better have my stuff in here. Don't eat this. See, you're going to jack yourself up again. You mess around, have heartburn, all that stuff. Nobody needs that. Nobody needs. Oh, I got bought candy. Nobody needs that. I'm so happy I get to go back into install. So I gotta work on some stuff over there. I spent a little extra out of my own pocket because I like to see people's projects take off. I really do. I mean, got paid good off for this site, but you know, I always take a little extra out of my own money at the end of the day. Because you know, the guy's a really nice person, you know, and I don't mind basically spending a little extra out of my own pocket to invest. And I had the food. The food is absolutely freaking amazing. Oh, it's amazing. It is. It is all that. If I go to your business establishment and you got it going on in there, we'll put a little extra in there. Put a little extra if it doesn't. And we're just trying to help you out. But yeah, I'll invest in your business. Advertise for you and everything. Pretty soon we get those screens put up. You want to advertise for companies. Yeah. All right. What's that going on here? All right. Go back into our page, marketplace. We got a saved backup already, just in case. It doesn't want to crack-a-lack. That crack-a-lack. That's a new design we put in. I like it. I like it. All right, I'm not seeing it on here. Where's my whatchamacallit at? Oh, come on. See, this is why I'm glad I copy and paste everything. This is why I'm glad I did it. Because they didn't even load it up in there. I bet you it's not even there. Watch. That's the acoustic. This is why we copy and paste everything. This is why. Because it is dumb nonsense that they do. Let me see, 1 gallon. That's not it. It's 1 gallon. Watch this. I wonder if anything was saved. Told you. That's the reason why they do this nonsense. Wix will do this up in a hot second to you. They'll go in and they'll basically freeze your page, and then you'll be sitting there like, oh, I just wrote all that stuff for absent. Oh, no, you don't. I just deleted all you out of here. Go, 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 go. There we go. Boom. See? I know their site. Their site does stuff like that. It'll definitely freeze on you, and then you'll be sitting up there like, I wrote all that stuff in for nothing, and it's gone. That's why you copy and paste everything. Dagnabbit. That's why. Everything. I put the pictures in, that's easy. But all this stuff I just wrote in here, oh heck no. You gonna make me do this twice? Freaking knuckleheads. Alright, let me go get my picture, my other picture. I already got it downloaded on here anyway, so I'm good. We'll grab it. I keep it on here for too long. Gonna time me out, buddy boy. Superior Black Gunmetal. ILEG. This is not even the name of it. So this one, it basically changed right here too on top of that. What? Okay. Just go back here and change it back. It's a 250 inch, not 200 inch. 250. Come back over here. Take out the Cinemax. Leave the gunmetal. Take out the Superior. Leave the black. Take out the Ultra. Bring it to the back. Bring it forward. Put in Widow. And then put in Titanium. This should be here. All right. You need to be back up here where you're at. All right. There is no eye in there, bird. Oh, no. Where's this popping off at? What did you pop off at? You're supposed to be here. Here. Gee, Louise. The freak. Oh, no. Sorry, you. Got metal. Alright, that's there. Alright. Let's see where that one at, because that one's somewhere. Let me see. Yeah, it did. It went here. This one's supposed to be there. Go to the back. See if it popped up there too. What's up there? Okay. Everything's in here. Everything's Gucci. It's Gucci. Check the whatchamacallit. So 1 gallon. 7. Let me see. 0. Not available yet. New. What's that thing over here? New. Coming soon. So as soon as we get the other screen up and going, we will have it. Oh no, we don't need all that in there. Coming soon 2025. Heck no. Where's the coming soon at? Is it coming soon? Don't tell me you have 2025 behind that. Oh, come on. Really? We don't need all that in there. Where's the coming soon at? Coming soon. Coming soon. You took the whole thing off on that one. Alright, coming soon. Alright. Make sure it shows up in the menu. Menu! Should get up there. Get the frick up there. Alright, let me see. Everything good to go? It's all Gucci? It is Gucci. Alright, now give me save and duplicate. That's where you do this against some of your upset. There we go. It went through. Booyah! That's what I'm talking about. Getting it done, people. Getting it done. That's the easy part because we already got everything set up here. I just got to go and change pictures out later on. We're good on that. Change this over to 32 ounces. 32 ounces. Got to go back here. Oh, we got to change here anyway. 32 ounces paints up to 150 inch screen. 150 inch screen. Bump, bump, bump. 32 ounces. 32. Let's see, kept that down. 32 ounces. ILEG Black. You're supposed to be in black, you know that, right? Alright. You were changed over, because you gotta put you back in here. Screen size for you is going to be 150 inches. 150 inches. 69. Or if you can do 235.1. At 235.1 would be 148 inch. At 235.1. 1610 would be 126 to 127. I think it's 128 in there somewhere. So yeah, that's right there from the door. Bam. Do 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 do. Oh, this is supposed to be in red. Do do do. Did we bold this up? Did we bold it up? Ah, where you at? No, you definitely ended up bold up on that one. There you go. Let me see. Put the red in there for the morning boat. It's in there. It's in there. Please note this is a customized product. Please note this is a customized product. Do 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 do. Please note this is a customized product. Pum 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 pum. Do 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 do. Why do you have paint information over God is amazing? Like, why is that even there? That needs to be fixed. Let's get this done first. Figure out what the heck is going on with that. That moved from somewhere. How? I don't know. That has to be fixed. What is this doing here? Why is it even there? Where is the rest of this? Bring this up. Why is this so far down? What on the process of me putting this thing in? Let me see. There's a whole freaking title missing. Trying time. Paint on. Paint on it. It's supposed to be here. How the frick you end up over there? You. It's supposed to be here. Jeez. What the frick was that all about? What's your count? Your count is what? Your count is not supposed to be that high. Here, 32 ounces. Yep, it clicked off again. Get in there. 32 ounces. This is eligible for free shipping, free worldwide shipping. Gallons we don't ship, but these be shipped by express. Let's see. Free worldwide. United States Postal Service, express shipping. That's eligible for overseas shipping. Express shipping free. Blah blah blah. What we do? All right, we lined up. We good right here, Bird? We Gucci? Are we Gucci on this one? Are we Gucci? We are Gucci. Let me see. Bum, 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 bum. Yeah, we're Gucci. All right, let's save. We got 2 of these in here. Lock it in. Thank you so much. Much appreciated. Kaboom. Published, ready to go. It's the 32 Black Widow right there. Titanium. And the first show we're going to show up, this is not, but a customer off-site is going to have it first. Because again, like I said, that's how we're going to do the pictures and stuff. And then, you know, we're going to do a motorized projection screen. We'll order another 110 motorized projection screen. That's what they want. Coat that thing in. Send it out. All right, we're done there, Bird. And we got that kit coming out. We got the kit right here, legendary kit. This is right here. What'd you put down for this one? This is supposed to be ILEG Starter Cinema Kit. What do you have in there again? ILEG Starter. ST. Starter. Cinema. Oh, I think that's the correct word. Let's see. Starter Cinema. Yes, MA. Anime Cinema. No, you're incorrect on that one. Oh, no, I was right on that one. What the freak? I spell that word 1,000 times a day. Cinema kit. This comes with 100 feet of light. 100 feet of light. Paints a screen size of 100 inches. Comes with what comes with the kit: 6x8 paint on blackout cloth, 100 feet of LED light, and 24 ounces of our ILEG Black limited edition cinematic. Yeah, right there. Because we're going to have packages. We're changing our packaging, so we're going to have packagings out here that when we get to the showroom, I want to have them on display so people can go pick them up and buy them. And do I take a bird? Yep, Daddy-o. 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 Oh, yeah. That's right, Daddy-o. Daddy-o. Taco-yo. Hello. What are you doing today, Taco? Let me see. I think that's good to go. We got the blackout cloth in there too. That'll be coming soon. Push again. Show myself it's locked in. Let me see my Stop recording. Meow. Meows. Like meows. Meows. Yep, it's there. Over there. Cool, our food is growing. Our page is growing. Get more items and more products on there. All right, with that being said, hope you enjoyed the video demonstration and thank you for your time. I got a little bit more work to go on my page. And this is all involving putting in some information so the page can be, actually pages being found everywhere, but still have more stuff to it. And that's going to require a long process. So yeah, I know, wish we could take it for the ride, but I got much to do. Thank you for the time. Thank you for stopping in. Of course, we thank our Lord and Savior for blessing us with amazing knowledge. Without him, none of this would be possible. Gotta go and God bless. All right.